Chapter 1827. 100 Grade Divine Crystal. In the Emperor Clan Divine Palace's public square, flames danced about, blooming flame flowers, fluttering along with the light wind. After the leopard dragon's powerful body was pierced by the sacred fire sword, the ashes scattered in the wind and finally disappeared without a trace. The people in the distance saw the flames disappear and came back to their senses. In a duel between inscription do masters, it is usually very difficult for someone to die. Because the situation is not right, they can react in time and admit defeat. But now, the leopard dragon did not even have time to react and was killed by the sword. After the sacred fire sword pierced through the leopard dragon's body, it did not completely dissipate. Instead, it floated back to Qin Yun's side and turned into blood spirit power. That idiot leopard dragon, who does he think he is when he has his back facing the enemy during battle? Peng Hantao chuckled and said. The people from the alien dragon race are all very angry, but they can't say anything. Because it was the leopard dragon who was the first to clamor about killing people. If he was not so ruthless, he would not have been killed. Peng Huxiong shouted, "Did you see that? The 9 Yang Divine Palace cannot represent the entire Immortal Desolate. Our Immortal Desolate's inscription do masters are still very powerful. They killed the alien dragon race's inscription do master." Everyone saw the process of the battle just now. 2-path inscription against 6-path inscription, and in the end he won. This is indeed an extremely high-level inscription do master. Furthermore, the leopard dragon did not even finish drawing a complete totem before being killed until not even ashes were left. From this, it can be seen that the leopard dragon's level is even lower. The elders of the 9 Yang Divine Palace are all very unhappy. They are very proud of themselves. They feel that the 9 Yang Divine Palace's inscription technique is the highest level in the Immortal Desolate. But now, someone is even more amazing than them. The people of the Immortal Desolate also burst into cheers. Earlier, they were ridiculed and insulted by the alien dragon race and the Alliance army. Now that they have finally turned the tables, they can feel proud and elated. The alien dragon race lost miserably. An outstanding inscription do master is gone just like that. And the Sun God Crystal they just won from the 9 Yang Divine Palace was also given to Peng Huxiong. Peng Huxiong did not want it and gave it to Qin Yun. Alliance Army, it's your turn. Do you dare to go up? Peng Huxiong laughed out loud. This time, let's play a little bigger. 2 Sun God Crystals, are you coming? Qin Yun also had 2 relatively large Sun God Crystals in his hands. He was confident that he could win. The commander of the Alliance army was also discussing with the other inscription do masters. They had just witnessed the power of the sacred fire sword. The process of the leopard dragon being killed in one blow lingered in their minds, so they no longer dared to look down on the masked geezer. Friends of the Alliance army, that masked man is a cunning old man. Lang Chong said, if you go to war, the person you send must be calm enough. Qin Yun's performance just now was very steady from beginning to end. He was not like Leopard Dragon who made a big fuss arrogantly. The old man from the 9 Yang Divine Palace snorted. If we send an old fellow out, we can also win. That masked geezer isn't from the younger generation at all. He can't represent the highest level of the younger generation. The Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor sneered. He is only a first-stage Immortal Emperor and he has 2 paths of runes. If the seniors you send out can win in the dual path drawings, I'll do anything for you. When everyone saw the Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor scolding the old man from the 9 Yang Divine Palace, they were secretly shocked. It was obvious that they were not on good terms. Everyone also felt that the Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor's words were reasonable. No matter who it was, defeating 6 paths of runes with 2 paths of runes was a high level. There were many old inscription do masters, but none of them could guarantee that they could defeat Leopard Dragon with 2 paths of runes. Alliance Army, are you afraid? With your level, You actually dare to say that our immortal desolate's inscription level is behind. You bunch of cowardly fellows, hurry up and scram out of the immortal desolate. During this period of time, too many trash from your outer heaven domain have died in the immortal desolate, polluting the immortal desolate. Peng Huxiong mocked. The Alliance army had previously ridiculed the level of inscription in the immortal desolate, but now that the alien dragon race had shriveled up, they no longer dared to say that the level of inscription in the immortal desolate was low. You were only able to defeat the alien dragon race by sending an old fellow to fight. The commander of the Alliance army shouted, "We will also send a senior to fight. Only then will it be fair." The Alliance army did not dare to send their juniors, otherwise they would be killed. Qin Yun nodded and said, "All right." The commander of the Alliance army said with a smile, "Since that's the case, let's play to our heart's content. How about we bet more sun god crystals?" Qin Yun looked at Peng Huxiong. Peng Huxiong took out the golden crystal apple and said with a smile, "All right, let's play this big. Let's bet on the same level of sun god crystal. The sun god crystal in my hand is 100 grade. If you don't have the same level, you can also use 10th grade ones." 100 grade meant that the weight and energy of this sun god crystal was extremely high. All right. The commander of the Alliance army also agreed. Seeing that Peng Huxiong had such a large sun god crystal in his hand, many of the powerful immortal emperors present were envious. Especially the powerful immortal emperors of the Alliance army, they all wanted to rush over and snatch it away. Even the seniors of the 9 Yang Divine Palace were very jealous. Peng Hantao whispered, "Dad, what if they go back on their word?" "Don't be afraid. If they go back on their word, it will be very embarrassing. The entire Immortal Desolate is watching this showdown between Inscription Do Masters." Peng Huxiong smiled. The Outer Heaven Alliance is an alliance of 3,000 heavens. If they go back on their word, wouldn't they ruin their reputation? Peng Hantao curled his lips and said, "These guys are very shameless. It's normal for them to act shamelessly. We have to guard against them. If they act shamelessly, I won't let them off." Qin Yun said, then once again flew back to the plaza in front of Emperor Race Divine Palace's entrance. Qin Yun landed on the table and waited for the inscription Do Master sent by the Alliance army. The inscription Do Master sent by the Alliance army was an old man who looked more like a human being. That old man was different from humans. His nose was curved upwards, and his mouth was very strange. Couldn't be opened, and there was only a glowing hole. "Celestial Master Horn Nose, I'll leave this to you. If you win this match, you will be able to obtain a lot of sun god crystals." The commander of the Alliance army chuckled in the air and said, "Let go and fight. It's best to kill that arrogant guy." Celestial Master Horned Nose nodded. He doesn't seem to be able to speak. Communication is also through mental communication. Qin Yun carefully looked at Celestial Master Horned Nose and quickly discovered that there are many tiny runes on his curved nose. This guy's nose is condensed from runes? Qin Yun is secretly surprised. "I thought it was grown." Ling Yuner said, "Inscription transformation, is it an inscription spirit or some other inscription? It might be a heavenly rune. Heavenly rune is originally three-dimensional. If it is improved according to the inscription master, it can also transform into a physical form." Qin Yun can already feel the strength of this Celestial Master Horned Nose. As long as the Alliance army loses this time, the Outer Heaven Realm will not dare to say that the Immortal Desolate's inscription level is backward. And the 9 Yang Divine Palace will not dare to say that they can represent the Immortal Desolate. Begin. After the announcement, Qin Yun and Celestial Master Horned Nose quickly entered the state. At the beginning, everyone let out a burst of exclamation. Because Celestial Master Horned Nose can draw 8 lines. The most shocking thing is that there is a halo at his strange and closed mouth, shooting out a ray of light and also participating in the drawing. This is 9 lines of drawing. Of course, although the elephant ear man can draw 10 lines, he can't compare with this kind of old inscription Do Master. The Alliance army sent Celestial Master Horned Nose to fight instead of letting the elephant ear man go, which means that Celestial Master Horned Nose is more powerful than the elephant ear man. Alliance army commander, why don't you let the elephant ear man go? Lang Chong is also very puzzled. The elephant ear man is a living being with 2 souls. The 6 lines on his hands on top of his head are carried out by one soul, and the 4 tentacles on his lower body are carried out by another soul. Although a total of 10 lines can be drawn, it is not a real 10 lines. It is still not enough to cooperate with each other. The commander of the Alliance army said. At this time, everyone also understood why the elephant ear man can draw 2 runes at the same time. It turns out that he is a living being with 2 souls. There are all kinds of life forms in the outer heaven realm. Celestial Master Horned Nose can draw 9 lines and Qin Yun can draw 2 lines. This gap is too big. Previously, everyone was quite optimistic about Qin Yun, but now they are worried for him. Qin Yun is drawing the Xian Wu totem. Because the other party is a calm elder, he also has to be steady. At the beginning, he has to make the strongest defense, and then find an opportunity to attack. That guy is drawing an offensive rune? Qin Yun used the Extinction Spirit Eye and could see that a large pair of scissors is being nurtured inside the light ball. Just be on guard. If you have a strong enough defense, you don't need to be afraid of him. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, can you keep up with his speed? That guy can draw patterns on 9 paths. I should be able to. Qin Yun is already speeding up. He has drawn the Xian Wu totem before and is quite proficient in it. Celestial Master Horned Nose doesn't have an inscription spirit, but he can draw 9 lines, so his speed is much faster than Qin Yun's. Qin Yun pays attention to Celestial Master Horned Nose from time to time. He is worried that Celestial Master Horned Nose is a rather sinister kind. The beginning is usually relatively calm because they have to wait for the 2 inscription Do Masters to finish drawing the first rune. A moment later, the eyes of the Celestial Master Horned Nose suddenly changed and turned red. His curved nose also turned red and flashed with red light. Qin Yun used the Extinction Spirit Eye to look at the light ball in front of the Celestial Master Horned Nose and discovered that the red scissors woven with runes have disappeared. This guy is indeed very sinister. Qin Yun immediately became alert and quickly sensed a strong fluctuation of runes behind him. The large scissors have already been completed, and it quietly ran out of the light ball and circled behind Qin Yun. If Qin Yun did not pay attention to the large scissors in the light ball, he might not have discovered it. Chapter 1828. Everyone saw Qin Yun suddenly stop drawing the totem and start drawing another rune. They thought he was going to harass Celestial Master Horned Nose. When Qin Yun turned around to attack, everyone exclaimed in surprise. Qin Yun's attack was not aimed at Celestial Master Horned Nose. Boom! The Starfire rune in Qin Yun's hand shot towards a spacious area behind him. When he attacked, a pair of red scissors appeared. Cries of surprise erupted from all around. The Horned Nose Celestial Master had already used runes to draw a very powerful pair of scissors. He even secretly circled to Qin Yun's back to attack. This kind of attack was really sneaky. If it was any other younger inscription Do Master, they might have been defeated in a baffling manner. Boom boom boom, Qin Yun quickly drew Star-Fire rune and sent the scissors flying. At this moment, the Celestial Master Horned Nose laughed sinisterly and started to draw the 9 paths again. If this goes on, Qin Yun will definitely be defeated because he has not finished drawing his defensive totem. Motherfucker, this old shady thing. Qin Yun clenched his teeth and gave up on attacking the annoying large scissors. The scissors had a certain level of defense, and if the battle continued, the Jiao Nose Celestial Master would be able to cast out another powerful totem carving, and Zhong Yu would lose for sure. Qin Yun continued to draw the black tortoise totem in peace. What he needed to do was to prevent the large scissors from destroying the black tortoise totem. When the large scissors flew over, they automatically opened and vigorously cut down, as if they could cut through any runes. The large scissors wanted to cut the ball of light in front of Qin Yun, but Qin Yun controlled it to avoid it. Several times the scissors could not find the ball of light. Celestial Master Horned Nose laughed sinisterly as he controlled the scissors to cut at Qin Yun. After the scissors opened up, it floated around Qin Yun's waist, as if it wanted to cut his waist. Seeing this, Wang Xiangtong immediately covered her eyes, not daring to look. Many people present shook their heads and sighed. They all thought that the masked man's body would be cut in half, and then a large amount of blood and intestines would fall down. Die! The commander of the Alliance army shouted with a smile. Crack! The scissors were on Qin Yun's waist. The red scissors flickered with light, runes flickered, but it did not cut Qin Yun's waist. That's because Qin Yun's body is very powerful. Weapons formed from runes are unable to cut him. Princess Anya heaved a sigh of relief. She also blamed herself for being too worried because she knew that Qin Yun could use the Divine Universe Golden Rock to cultivate. Qin Yun, who was absorbing the Divine Universe Goldstones to cultivate, was already on the path to soul formation. Heartless Immortal Venerable was also secretly worried just now. Seeing that the large scissors didn't succeed, he also revealed a trace of a smile. The people of the Immortal Desolate all let out joyous shout. The masked man started to represent the Immortal Desolate, so the people of the Immortal Desolate supported him. He, a true inscription do master, has a very strong body. You want to cut my body with that pair of scissors? Peng Huxiong sneered. Celestial Master Horned Nose. Celestial Master's scissors are formed from runes. It is not a powerful weapon. It is indeed somewhat difficult to injure his powerful body. Of course, the sacred fire sword that Qin Yun drew earlier was extremely powerful. It instantly destroyed the leopard dragon's body. Celestial Master Horned Nose's scissors can only be used to cut runes. Qin Yun's body is in pain after being cut by the scissors earlier. Fortunately, he released a lot of blood soul power to defend, otherwise it would be even more painful. Actually, when inscription do masters fight, they can release a bit of blood soul power to defend. However, releasing too much blood soul power will only cause a waste, because the blood soul power can transform into runes and become stronger. Celestial Master Horned Nose has to control the large scissors, and he himself has to draw runes in 9 paths. He has to multitask. Moreover, the large scissors still have to absorb blood soul power to maintain itself. Although it looks like he has the upper hand, he will have to consume a lot of energy from the very beginning. Qin Yun earnestly drew the Xian Wu totem and is about to finish. The second rune drawn by Celestial Master Horned Nose is inside a very large light ball. After the light ball dispersed, a mountain appeared. It is a mountain rune. Many runes transformed into the shape of a small mountain and enveloped Celestial Master Horned Nose's body. Celestial Master Horned Nose is also worried that Qin Yun will attack, so he also has to defend. After all, he personally witnessed the leopard dragon being killed in one move. It is impossible for him not to be afraid. Celestial Master Horned Nose's 9 paths runes are very fast. Now he is drawing the third rune. Although he is not drawing a totem, the large scissors rune and the mountain rune are very complex and can be compared to totems, and Qin Yun still has not finished drawing a totem. Not long after, Celestial Master Horned Nose finished drawing the third rune. That rune transformed into a few meters large white eagle and quickly rushed towards Qin Yun. The large scissors from before are also waiting for an opportunity to cut the rune inside the large light ball. Celestial Master Horned Nose's current strategy is to destroy the rune Qin Yun is drawing and force him to admit defeat. At this moment, the light ball in front of Qin Yun trembled and Xian Wu roared and came out. Immediately, the entire audience was shaken and burst into cheers. The long-awaited Xian Wu totem has appeared once again. The rune condensed into a mighty Xian Wu phantom that floated around Qin Yun. It is invincible and let out a fierce roar. Ha ha ha! This great god's Xian Wu totem has appeared. The little black donkey laughed proudly and said, "Boss is invincible this time, quickly kill that horned-nosed old man." The moment the Xian Wu totem appeared, Celestial Master Horned Nose felt immense pressure. The powerful Xian Wu totem is very complex. Just by looking at it, one can see a large number of dense and profound runes. The Alliance Army and the alien dragon race's inscription masters all know that the masked man has mastered the Xian Wu totem. They just didn't expect that he would be able to draw it in such a short period of time. Qin Yun can only draw runes on 2 paths, yet he can be so fast. This means that he has mastered the relevant inscription spirit. The Beast King inscription spirit is definitely one of them, and the other is probably the Xian Wu inscription spirit. The other kind of inscription spirit Qin Yun has mastered is the totem inscription spirit. It is very rare and is said to be as rare as Moon Lady and Star Lord inscription spirit. The appearance of the Xian Wu totem shocked everyone present. The eagle drawn by Celestial Master Horned Nose wanted to grab the snake on the back of the Xian Wu tortoise, but it was swung by the huge and mighty dragon-like tortoise head. The tortoise opened its mouth and stretched out its head as fast as a poisonous snake. It bit the large white eagle and devoured the blood soul power inside. And just as the large scissors were about to leave, the Xian Wu fiercely inhaled, as if it wants to swallow the sea. It sucked the large scissors back. The thick and powerful tortoise foot stomped and crushed the large scissors to the ground. Everyone thought that the Xian Wu totem is only very strong in defense. They never expected that its attack power is also not weak. The little black donkey looked at the magic mirror and said with a very excited smile, "This great god's totem is awesome. Those trash runes are all dregs in front of this great lord's totem." Pring Huxiong and Ping Hantao heaved a sigh of relief. After the situation reversed, Qin Yun can relax a lot. Go! Qin Yun controlled the Xian Wu beast to fly over. He is not drawing other runes now. He wants to use the Xian Wu beast to break through the Horned Nose Celestial Master's defense in one go. Celestial Master Horned Nose underestimated the power of Qin Yun's Xian Wu totem. Because Qin Yun can cultivate the Nethermoon, his blood soul power is very strong. In addition, he has many kinds of inscription spirits, so the totems he draws are very strong. Now he is using the secret technique of One Thought Imperial Heaven Art to push the blood soul power to the limit, making the blood soul power even stronger. When the Xian Wu totem rushed out, it is as if it has intelligence. All kinds of valiant aura and energy burst out. Boom! The Xian Wu totem ferociously collided with the Horned Nose Celestial Master's mountain totem and smashed it into pieces. And the runes drawn by the Horned Nose Celestial Master hit the Xian Wu totem. It is like scratching an itch, there is no effect at all. The Horned Nose Celestial Master is standing on the table, the Xian Wu totem majestically smashed forward. It is like a huge mountain rushing along with ocean waves, bringing along a kind of ferocious heavenly might. Just the aura alone made the Horned Nose Celestial Master feel incomparably great pressure. "You can't hurt me!" the Horned Nose Celestial Master loudly roared. The Xian Wu totem collided with the Horned Nose Celestial Master's body and sent him flying. At the same time, it also tore apart his body. He didn't even have time to use his horn nose before he was defeated. Whoosh! The Horned Nose Celestial Master's body split into pieces. His head is connected to a part of his body. He did not die, but his body has suffered heavy injuries and will need a very long time to recover. The Horned Nose Celestial Master fell off the table. He lost. The people of the Immortal Desolate let out waves of excited cheers. An inscription Do master from the immortal desolate has successfully defeated an inscription Do master from the outer heaven domains, Alliance army and the variant dragon race. The expressions of the Alliance army people are very interesting. Now it is the turn of the immortal desolate people to ridicule the Alliance army and the variant dragon race. The Alliance army also sent people down to pick up the horned-nosed celestial master's broken body. After all, he is a celestial master. If they can save him, they have to. Qin Yun immediately flew towards Peng Huxiong. Peng Huxiong brought Qin Yun and flew towards the Alliance army's commander. You lost. Take out the 100-grade sun god crystal, Peng Huxiong said. Here. The commander of the Alliance army took out a very small sun god crystal and handed it to Peng Huxiong. This was what they had won from the 9 Yang Divine Palace. This is at most a 10th stage. There are still 9 more. Peng Huxiong said coldly. We'll pay off the debt in 90,000 years. I'll return one to you every 10,000 years, ha ha. The commander of the Alliance army laughed and said, It's not that we don't want to return it, but we don't have it for the time being. Don't say that we're cheating. Peng Huxiong was stunned. He really didn't expect that the commander of the Alliance army really cheated. You aren't giving it to me, are you? Said Qin Yun coldly. What if I don't give it to you? Do you think you can kill me? The Alliance army commander sneered. He was very confident. There were dozens of Alliance army warships and a large number of Alliance army experts. You only have a few people. The Imperial Clan Divine Palace won't help you, right? What's more, it's not that I'm not giving them anything. I'm just giving them 90,000 years. The powerful immortal emperors of the Alliance army all laughed out loud. The Alliance army was clearly acting shamelessly. Qin Yun clenched his fists tightly. Peng Huxiong sensed Qin Yun's killing intent and immediately prepared for battle. Furthermore, he sent a sound transmission to Peng Hantao, telling him to leave quickly. Come and kill me? I'm standing here, can you kill me? The commander of the Alliance army laughed. Lang Chong, who was in the distance, chuckled and said, That's the commander of the Alliance army. Forget about you, even the heartless immortal sovereign or the immortal desolate sacred master might not be able to kill him. Chapter 1829. Treasure of the Dragon Race. After the commander of the Alliance army was surrounded by the 9 dragons' heavenly steel, he also felt a very powerful force coming from all directions. The 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation was a very flexible formation. It could attack, defend, seal, and release powerful barriers. Qin Yun activated the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation and trapped the Alliance army commander inside. When Princess Yi saw Qin Yun release the 9 dragons' heavenly steel, she turned pale with fright. She did not wish for Qin Yun to expose the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. After all, it was something that all the Dragon Clan's factions wanted. The 9 dragons' heaven origin array was activated and waves of powerful dragon aura rippled out. The powerful dragon aura carried the power of 9 dragons and quickly spread to the surroundings. The Imperial Dragon Clan of the Imperial Clan Divine Palace, as well as Long Yotsang and the other Outer Realm Dragon Clans, were immediately able to confirm that it was the power of the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor and Red Sun Dragon Mother immediately confirmed that it was a 9 dragons' heaven origin design. Although it was different from what they were familiar with, there was no difference in essence. It was just that the power of the 9 dragons released was weaker. Lang Chong and the other members of the mutated dragon race could all recognize that it was the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. All of them were incomparably terrified. That was what they feared the most. The ones who were the most shocked were the immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor and Red Sun Dragon Mother, because they knew the masked man was Qin Yun. Qin Yun said that he could recreate the 9 dragons' heavenly origin array. They hadn't believed it at the time, but after seeing the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, they had no choice but to believe it. That's Nine Dragons Heavenly Origin Formation. The old man from the Nine-Yang Divine Palace shouted in shock. They were also very familiar with this formation. Why does this guy have the Nine Dragons Heaven Origin Formation? Who is he? Long Yotsang said in shock. Currently, the only remaining Nine Dragons Heaven Origin array was in the hands of the Divine Wilderness Race Emperor. But the Nine Dragons Heaven Origin array they saw was different from the one they were familiar with, which meant that it could have been refined by someone else. If you want to renege on your debt, then die. Qin Yun shouted coldly and activated the Nine Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation's killing formation. 9 dragons roared, and the dragon head of the formation tablet spewed violent 9-color lightning, madly bombarding the Alliance Army commander in the formation. Within the 9 dragons Heavenly Origin Formation, an intense 9-colored light burst forth. Everyone was so blinded by the intense light that they couldn't open their eyes. The commander of the Alliance Army in the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin Formation let out a scream. No one could see what was happening inside the array, but they knew that the commander inside was being tortured to the point where he wished he was dead. The other immortal emperors of the Alliance Army were furious, but they did not dare to approach, worried that their commander would die because of this. The commander screamed miserably. He was struck by the 9 dragons' violent lightning until he was in unbearable pain. His screams made one's scalp go numb. "I'll give you the Sun God Crystal," the commander of the Alliance Army shouted crazily in a hoarse voice. "I will take revenge myself, you must die." Qin Yun shouted in a deep voice and controlled the 9 Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation to violently attack the thunder. The 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin Array was currently consuming the energy of the profound Saint Silver crystals, and it was consuming a significant amount of energy. When Qin Yun saw that the commander of the Alliance Army was almost tortured, he stopped the 9 Dragons Heavenly Source Formation. After the intense 9-colored light disappeared, everyone could see the situation inside the 9 Dragons Heaven Origin Formation. The commander of the Alliance Army was riddled with holes. That kind of tragedy made people's scalp numb. Die. A flute-like tube suddenly appeared in Qin Yun's hand. It was the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon that had turned into the size of a flute. The tiny 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon aimed at the head of the Alliance Army's commander, condensed the sacred power of the profound Saint Silver crystal and released it. Boom! The head of the commander of the Alliance Army was pierced by a golden light. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Just a moment ago, Lang Chong of the mutated dragon race was still bragging about how strong the commander of the Alliance Army was. He said that even Immortal Sovereign Heartless and the Sacred Master of the Immortal Desolate might not be able to kill this commander. But in the blink of an eye, the commander of the Alliance Army was killed. "Kill him!" Someone from the Alliance Army roared. Qin Yun waved his hand and put away the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin Formation's formation tablet. Then, he activated the teleportation jade pendant and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Many people in the Immortal Desolate saw the scene just now through the magic mirror. The commander of the Alliance Army was actually killed in front of everyone. The dozens of huge warships of the Alliance Army were completely useless. The clan kings and the elders of the 9 Yang Divine Palace all had grave expressions on their faces. The 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin Formation had appeared, but it was not in their hands. Although the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin Formation wasn't very powerful, it meant that someone could create it. Lang Chong of the Alien Dragon tribe felt his heart thumping. He was scared out of his wits. If he was surrounded by the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin Formation, it would be impossible for him to escape. What terrified him the most was that the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin Formation was not in the hands of the Imperial clans or the Dragon clan. Instead, it was in the hands of a mysterious person. The 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin Formation was created later on. Someone could create the 9 Dragons Heaven Origin Formation. Lang Chong was very sure that the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin array was relatively basic, but its power was enough to kill experts like them. Furthermore, it had a lot of room for growth in the future. That just now was the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation, Lang Chong shouted after he recovered from his fear. The entire Immortal Desolate and the 3,000 heavenly regions knew how powerful the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation was. The alien dragons and the Alliance army dared to be so arrogant because they believed that the Imperial clans and the Dragon clans did not have the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation. But now, the Nine Dragons' heaven origin formation had suddenly appeared. Even the forces of the Dragon clan were terrified. Others could create the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation, but their Dragon clan forces could not. Furthermore, they knew nothing about it. Immortal Supremacy Heartless knew that Qin Yun had the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin array. Although he was in the Imperial race's divine temple, he had never mentioned it to the Imperial race. He also did not plan on mentioning it now. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor and Red Sun Dragon Mother are secretly happy because Qin Yun can create the Nine Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation. It means that they have a chance to obtain the Nine Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation again. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor took out the magic mirror and tried to contact Qin Yun but did not get a response. The people on the side of the Alliance army are very angry and scolding. While everyone was still in shock over the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation, an incomparably powerful ripple suddenly appeared in the sky. Boom! More than a dozen large ships of the Alliance army were suddenly penetrated by something that burst with strong light. That was the star cannon fired by Qin Yun through the Nine Heavens Dragon Lion cannon. Every time the star cannonball pierced through a ship, a burst of energy would spread out and tear the ship apart. A series of explosions and shock waves crashed down from the sky. A large amount of debris flew everywhere. The clan king of the Imperial Clan Divine Palace also released his powerful immortal emperor power, creating a gust of wind to blow away the debris, preventing it from hanging in the Imperial Clan Divine Palace. More than a dozen warships were actually destroyed in an instant. This shocking scene caused many powerful immortal emperors to feel deep fear. Just what kind of power was this? The people of the Alliance army are all trembling at this moment. They are all worried that they won't be able to return. Hand over the 9 sun god crystals to the Pung family patriarch. Qin Yun's hoarse and low voice reverberated through the air. If you don't give it to me, then don't even think about going back. After firing a shot, the Nine Heavens Dragon Lion cannon became incomparably hot and needed to cool down before it could continue firing. He was also unable to continue destroying more warships, so he could only use this to threaten the Alliance army and force them to hand over the 9 sun god crystals. If you don't give it to me, then die. The people of the Alliance army are afraid of death, so they have to give it to you. Even their commander had been killed and more than a dozen of their warships had been instantly destroyed like paper. In addition, the other party had the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation. They simply did not want to face such a terrifying person. The bigger the fist, the harder the truth. The Alliance army was so arrogant before, but in front of such powerful strength, they could only yield. They took out 9 10th grade sun god crystals and handed them over to Peng Huxiong. Peng Huxiong is also somewhat dumbfounded. He never thought that Heavenly Master Qin would be so much stronger than he had imagined. He could actually casually throw out the legendary 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. In the distance, Peng Hantao came back to his senses. He only wanted to shout, "Big Brother is invincible!" After handing over the 9 10th grade sun god crystals to Peng Huxiong, the few upper echelons of the Alliance army ran back to their warships in fear and left in a hurry. Lang Chong of the mutated dragon race also returned to their strangely shaped warships with fear in his heart. He then traveled through space and left this place. There are still many fragments of flames floating in the air, as well as a powerful star power. The star cannonball is very powerful. After being shot out and exploding, the energy aura produced will remain for a very long time. Pring Huxiong laughed and said, "With this level, you want to invade the immortal desolate? These fellows from the outer heaven domain are truly ignorant and narrow-minded. They think that our immortal desolate is easy to bully." At this moment, many elders of the inscription aristocratic families and the inscription world flew to Pring Huxiong's side and asked about the situation of the masked man. Even the Imperial Clan Divine Palace and the Nine Yang Divine Palace sent their elders over to invite Pring Huxiong to enter the Imperial Clan Divine Palace to discuss. They wanted to talk to the mysterious masked man. Pring Huxiong rejected them one by one and then brought his Peng family members back to Pengjia Mountain. Qin Yun used the teleportation jade pendant and returned to Pengjia Mountain. He waited for the father and son to return to Pring Huxiong's cave. At this time, he also received news from the immortal desolate Dragon Emperor and Princess Enyi. Qin Yun, don't give the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation to the 9 Yang Divine Palace. Those guys are not worthy of having this formation. Princess Enyi sternly warned Qin Yun. Why? Qin Yun asked. In short, don't give it to them, listen to me. Princess Enyi said. All right, I'll listen to you. Qin Yun said with a smile. I can't give it to them either. I only have one. If you can make one, you can make 2 or 3, right? Princess Enyi groaned and said, remember, if you want to give the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation to others, you better discuss it with me first. All right. Qin Yun cut off communication with Princess Enyi and replied to the Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor immediately asked, Xiaofuyun, did you create the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation? Qin Yun said with a smile, indeed. But compared to the true 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, there is still a big gap. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor chuckled and said, the gap doesn't seem to be very big. Can you let me take a closer look? If you help me create one, there will be no lack of benefits for you. All right, I will find you as soon as possible. Qin Yun also wants to fish up some things from the dragon race. If this succeeds, I will give you my dragon race's supreme treasure. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor said, my dragon race's supreme treasure, even that girl Yu Qing doesn't know about it. Only me and Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother know about it. What supreme treasure? Qin Yun is somewhat curious and asked with smile. Chapter 1830. Star-Lord Transformation. Qin Yun learned a lot about the 9 Sun royal family from Zhongxian Desolate Dragon Emperor. He also learned about the Tharch clans. He was not surprised that the immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor had something left behind by the 9 Suns royal family. Senior, what is that supreme treasure? Asked Qin Yun. It's a box. I can't open it, but you will definitely be able to open it. In any case, if you help me create a heavenly 9 dragons formation, I will give you that box. Alright, if my dragon tribe has anything you want, just say the word. If I can give it, I will definitely give it to you. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor just wanted to get a 9 dragons heaven origin formation as soon as possible. Alright. Next, I will make a 9 dragon heavenly origin formation for you. I will need some time, be patient. Qin Yun said. If you have any difficulties, just tell me. Even without the help of the Imperial Dragon race, my dragon race is still very strong. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor laughed. With me and the Red Sun Dragon Mother supporting you, don't be afraid. Got it. Qin Yun put away the devil mirror. Pring Huxiong and Peng Hantao also returned. Pring Huxiong handed the 9 Sun God crystals to Qin Yun. Originally, Qin Yun wanted to give 2 Pring Huxiong, but he didn't want it. Qin Yun also had 12 10th grade Sun God crystals. Pring Huxiong knew that Qin Yun was an extremely high-level heavenly inscription master, so he was very friendly to Qin Yun. Even when Qin Yun wanted to leave Pengjiashan, The father and son duo sent Qin Yun out. They even mobilized their entire family to protect Qin Yun so that he could leave safely. Qin Yun wants to return to the divine inscription mountain. On one hand, he wants to make another 9 dragons heavenly origin formation. On the other hand, he wants to learn that secret technique and release the form of the inscription spirit. The divine mountain of inscription was hidden near the huge sinkhole. It became no different from an ordinary mountain. There was a very strong barrier protecting it, preventing others from approaching. After Qin Yun returned to the divine inscription mountain, Xiaohua and the mountain god walked over with a smile and praised Qin Yun for killing the commander of the alliance army. From time to time, the mountain god would move the divine inscription mountain to search for the sun god crystals. Now that he needed to rest, he stopped here. Elder Xiao, what's the situation with those altars? Qin Yun asked. Have there been any movements from those sun altars recently? Not yet. It's very calm. Elder Xiao frowned and said, Don't worry, boss. I'll inform you immediately if anything happens. Qin Yun nodded. The sun altars were all concentrated in one region, and there had been no activity all this while. This was what he was worried about. He took out the floating cloud pagoda and entered it. Then, he used the magic mirror to contact Yu Yu and inquire about the Guang Han Palace's situation. Xie Qiru has been in seclusion during this period of time. She is very serious in cultivating. All the disciples of Guang Han Palace are desperately cultivating. Because the moon had changed, it would release a very powerful energy. This energy could only be maintained for a short period of time, so they had to take advantage of this time to absorb as much energy as possible. The Imperial Clan and the Dark Royal Clan did not go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Could it be that the time is not right? Qin Yun had always been worried about this. If the Dark Royal Clan and the D Clan were to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, then the Alliance Army and the other dragons might also go. In addition, the 9 Yang Divine Palace was also a very powerful force. They would definitely go. I wonder when Sister Qiru will set off. Qin Yun is also very impatient. He thought about the matter of the Cloud Dragon Mountain range inside the floating cloud pagoda, then shook his head and said in his heart, I still need to quickly become stronger. The situation in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range is becoming more and more complicated. If he did not have sufficient strength, he would most likely be finished. The letter he left behind in his past life told him to absorb the energy of the divine universe golden stone and cultivate a sufficiently powerful divine body. Only then would he be able to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range safely. Qin Yun closed his eyes and earnestly tried to comprehend the secret method of inscription spirit's transformation. My inscription spirit has transformed, I wonder what it will transform into. Qin Yun is very curious in his heart. Because Peng Huxiong said that the inscription spirit obtained after birth will have a rather special form, different from the innate inscription spirit. The transformation of the inscription spirit is equivalent to evolving one's own inscription spirit. What kind of benefits will there be after the evolution of the inscription spirit? Qin Yun is still not clear. Because every person's inscription spirit will evolve into different abilities. After Peng Hantao's inscription spirit transformed, the runes he carved can become thunder transformation runes. However, because his cultivation realm is not high enough, he is not familiar with how to use it. Xiao Yun, you have quite a few inscription spirits. You should do it one by one. Ling Yuner said with a smile. It's very difficult to make all the inscription spirits transform in one go. It's also very easy to get confused. And I know. Qin Yun said with a smile. Then I'll let the Star Lord inscription spirit transform first. Star runes are more commonly used. He closed his eyes and focused his mind on the Star Lord inscription spirit. Then, he drew runes in the air with both hands. The runes he is currently drawing are very special. He meditated according to the secret method and then combined it with the Star Lord inscription spirit to make a special rune appear in his consciousness. As long as he added the runes he meditated while drawing, he would be able to make the Star Lord inscription spirit reveal its form. The Ping family's secret method is very useful, and there are many difficult points to explain. Qin Yun's perception is very high. Furthermore, the secret method is directly integrated into his memory, so he was able to master it in an instant. At this moment, he is very serious in comprehending and learning. In addition, his own inscription level is very high, so he can quickly comprehend the key points. After half a day, many runes that emitted white light floated in front of him. Those white light runes look very messy, but they are circulating and flowing in a very orderly manner. He opened his eyes and looked at the messy runes. He said with a frown, "These runes were created by me through the secret method combined with the Star Lord inscription spirit. Why are they so messy?" He originally thought that he would be able to see the form of his Star Lord inscription spirit, but now he can only see many messy runes. "Xiao Yun, the elements formed by your blood-soul power are too mixed," Ling Yun suddenly said. "Star Lord inscription spirit is of the star attribute. Your blood-soul power should mainly be composed of star power." "That's right. My blood-soul power is mainly composed of nether sun and nether moon. It is indeed not compatible with the stars," Qin Yun said with a frown. "If I were to carve runes, the blood-soul power I would use would be of the same attribute as the runes. The power and precision would be even better. Although nether sun and nether moon are strong, they can't perfectly fuse with his elemental runes. Normally, he can't see it, but now that he wants to let the inscription spirit transform, he can feel it." Qin Yun carefully pondered for a while, and decided to absorb the star power from the large number of stars sealed in the 9 Sun Divine Spirit. Mental power is still mainly composed of the nether moon. The composition of the blood-soul power is the body's blood, mind and soul, as well as the power of the origin life crystals in the Dantian. Qin Yun's Dantian has the power of the nether sun. Now it has been replaced with the power of the stars. After finding out the problem, Qin Yun began again. This time, there is enough star power in his blood-soul power. He used a secret technique to coordinate with the Star Lord inscription spirit and meditated on a special star rune. If he combined it with the power of the stars, it is possible for the inscription spirit to transform successfully. Qin Yun closed his eyes. As he meditated, he drew the runes that appeared in his mind. Late at night, he finally finished drawing. When he opened his eyes, he saw that the inscription spirit has transformed into a human form. However, there is a layer of faint white light wrapping around it, making it impossible to clearly see what it looks like. The runes drawn by Ping Hantao can turn into a sturdy old man. Only the upper half of his body means that he has not reached the highest realm. Could it be that it is still not enough? Qin Yun looked at the shining white figure in front of him. The runes he drew can indeed consciously converge into a human form. However, it is only a human form, light and shadow. It is not like Ping Hantao's Thunder God, which has rich details. Just as Qin Yun is recalling the secret technique and looking for the problem, the light and shadow suddenly moved and the white light on its surface suddenly dissipated. Qin Yun opened his eyes wide as he looked at the transformed Star Lord inscription spirit. It is actually an incomparably beautiful woman. Her entire body is formed from runes. It is as if she has used runes to draw a lifelike 3D portrait. She looks just like a real person. Compared to Ping Hantao's half-body Thunder God, she is much more real. What caused Qin Yun to be astonished is that the absolutely beautiful woman before him looks exactly the same as Star God Yu Shutian. She is not wearing any clothes, showing an incomparably natural and beautiful side. So beautiful! Ling Yun'er very excitedly laughed and yelled, "Sister Star God and Xiao Tian are a perfect combination, so beautiful! Yu Shutian is the Star Fairy Princess, she is pure and elegant, as if she is a fairy that does not eat the common mortal world. And the star god who has the same face is charming and bewitching. Her every frown and every smile is overflowing with charm. This kind of natural charming bone is constantly leaking out soul-stealing charm. Yushutian is the avatar of the star god, but she has an independent personality. Moreover, the star god will not awaken this avatar. So even though they have the same appearance and body, their character is completely different. But now, Qin Yun is looking at the transformed Star Lord before him. Although she looks pure and elegant, her smile is overflowing with charm. Her rippling eyes are filled with charming light. She has a pair of beautiful translucent wings on her back. They are Yushutian's fairy wings. Xiao Yueme likes them very much. My Star Lord inscription spirit's transformation is actually like this. Qin Yun admired the soul-stealing beauty in front of him and sighed with emotion. Big Sister Star God and Star Fairy Princess Xiao Tian represent the stars in your heart. Ling Yuner said with charming smile. I guess that Moon Lady inscription spirit is the combination of Big Sister Yang and Big Sister Yu Yu. I truly want to see it. Then what about Wild Hua, Tool King and Beast King? Who is it? Qin Yun curled his lips and said. I don't know. Ling Yuner giggled and said, I guess it must be a peerless beauty. I like her the most. Qin Yun waved his hand and scattered the beauty transformed by the runes before him. Ling Yuner mumbled to herself, Xiao Yun, such a beautiful sister star god, how can you scatter her? Let's take a look. Qin Yun closed his eyes and said, the one just now is not perfect enough. Chapter 1831. Sacrifice to Heaven. When Qin Yun saw Ling Yuner daydreaming again, he shook his head and said with a smile, Great beauty Yuner, I also hope that you can quickly transform into a human. Your face is as easy to pinch as Big Sister steamed bun. Humph! If I could turn into a human, I wouldn't let you pinch me. I'm not as easy to bully as Sister steamed bun. Ling Yuner snorted. Speaking of Zi Qinqing, Qin Yun really wanted her to come out and pinch her face. Qin Yun calmly drew runes again. This time, he was much more skilled than before, and his speed was much faster. After the painting was done, the beautiful star god appeared again. After appearing, Ling Yuner sighed in disappointment. Why are you wearing so many clothes? This time, the star god wore a white soft armor and held a sharp longsword in his hand. He looked quite heroic, domineering, and charming. He was especially alluring. This is perfect, Qin Yun said with smile. The previous one had no clothes, how can it be called perfect? The manifestation inscription spirit I created is to be used in battle. That's true. Only we can appreciate such a beautiful sister star god. Ling Yuner smiled tenderly and said, Xiao Yun, you have to draw more often for me to admire. I like to admire beauties the most. The more beauties I admire, the stronger I can become. Stop boasting. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, It's true. If I become stronger, I can make Nether Sun release even stronger power. Ling Yuner lightly groaned and said, Don't doubt me. I don't believe you. Qin Yun mischievously laughed and said, You impudent elf, you are very bad. Don't even think of using the excuse of Nether Sun becoming stronger to tempt me to do bad things. Ling Yuner curled her lips and said, Little Yun, what I said is true. I yearn for beautiful things because they can make my soul stronger. Only by doing so can I stimulate more of Nether Sun's power. I don't believe it. Qin Yun curled his lips. He has finally allowed the Star Lord inscription spirit to take form. Looking at the peerlessly beautiful star god in front of him, his heart is filled with joy. Ling Yuner said, Sister Star God is so beautiful. I really want to see her soon. Qin Yun said with a smile, Let's go to Guanghan Palace to find Xiao Tian. Xiao Yun, you haven't seen Xiao Tian for a long time. I miss her too. Ling Yuner laughed. Go to the Guanghan Palace and let Yu Mei turn you into a girl. Then, nonsense. Qin Yun shook his head with a smile. He really could not understand why his own Tao spirit was filled with such crooked ways. It was not easy for him to not be affected. Inside the floating cloud pagoda, Qin Yun is lying on a chair and calmly looking at the floating star god. He doesn't intend to disperse it. Instead, he is waiting for the blood-soul power inside the rune to dissipate. Why is my inscription spirit transformation the same as Sister Star God? Qin Yun said with a frown. If I let Moon Lady inscription spirit transform, would I really become Sister Yang? Xiao Yun, Big Sister Yang's name in her previous life was Yu-Ji. Ling Yun said with a smile. She might really be related to the Moon Lady inscription spirit. Qin Yun's Moon Lady inscription spirit was left behind by his past life. Then I'll start comprehending the Moon Lady inscription spirit. I want to see if after transformation, I'll really become Sister Yang. Qin Yun said. It's definitely Sister Yang and you. Ling Yun said with certainty. Do you want to bet? I won't bet. Qin Yun said with a smile. Because I also think so. Xiao Yun, after inscription spirit transformation, you are familiar with beauties. This is definitely not a coincidence. Ling Yun said. Then what's the reason? Qin Yun feels that it is related to his memories. Your inscription spirit is not innate. You obtained it later on. In other words, your inscription spirit has already fused with your soul. Therefore, after inscription spirit transformation, it will transform into those powerful beauties in your memories. Moreover, those beauties have the same attribute as the inscription spirit. Ling Yun said. If it is innate inscription spirit, then its form is fixed. For example, Brother Peng's Thunder God inscription spirit. Qin Yun nodded. He feels that Ling Yun's speculation is reasonable. Xiao Yun, if you can frequently come into contact with the beauties transformed by inscription spirit, maybe it can make the transformed inscription spirit become stronger and evolve into a formidable ability. Ling Yun said with mischievous smile. Let's talk about it later. Right now, I can only come into contact with Xiao Tian. She is in seclusion in the Guanghan Palace. Qin Yun said. They want to take advantage of this moment to absorb the mysterious power produced by the moon's transformation. I don't want to disturb them. Ling Yun nodded and said, That's true. Qin Yun said with a smile. Yun, guess who will the wildfire inscription spirit transform into? Let me think about it. Ling Yun is very serious about thinking about it. After Qin Yun waited for a while, Ling Yun shouted, It might be Sister Ling Long. Why? Qin Yun asked. Because she is very berserk and the flames she uses are very strong. Ling Yun said with a smile. When you first met Jian Linglong, didn't you hear that she is a violent woman? It's really possible. Qin Yun nodded his head. Among the women I know, the one who is stronger in using fire should be Sister Linglong. If you have ice attribute inscription spirit, then it must be Sister Bing Xing or Snow Goddess. Ling Yun said again. Qin Yun nodded in agreement. These two formidable women have left a deep impression on him, especially Bing Xing. What about the Beast Kings? Qin Yun asked. I don't know. Ling Yun lightly sighed and said, I can't think of anyone suitable. Then don't think about it, you will know when the time comes. Qin Yun laughed. Suddenly, his magic mirror vibrated violently. Xiao Hua is urgently contacting him. Old Xiao, what's the matter? Qin Yun asked. Boss, there is movement on the sun altar. Look at the magic mirror, there are relevant images. Xiao Hua said. Qin Yun immediately checked the information posted on the magic mirror. Many of them are related to the sun altar. There are a total of 9 sun altars. He destroyed 2 of them. One is in 9 nether realms floating cloud city and the other 6 are in Immortal Desolate. The 6 sun altars in Immortal Desolate formed a circle. The sun altar became as big as a mountain. its entire body flickered with intense golden light. What caused Qin Yun to be amazed is that there is a heavenly Tao altar in the middle of the 6 sun altars. Tian Dao Zi's heavenly Tao altar and the sun altar are mixed together. These guys, what are they doing? Qin Yun looked at the magic mirror and is very astonished. Suddenly, the 6 sun altars floated up and started revolving on the spot, as if they are revolving around the heavenly Tao altar. The sun altar's location is currently dark and gloomy. The mountain-like heavenly Tao altar's summit suddenly shot out a white light beam that shot into the pitch-black sky. The 6 sun altars revolving around the heavenly Tao altar suddenly changed from golden to white. Moreover, their revolving speed became even faster. Motherfucker, very powerful space fluctuation. Qin Yun looked through the magic mirror and saw space being torn. He is certain that the 6 sun altars are opening space passage. If it was only 6 sun altars, then Qin Yun is certain that experts from Divine Desolate will descend, or formidable puppets and divine weapons. But the heavenly Tao altar is also joining in the fun. This is not simple. The magic mirror suddenly vibrated and displayed the words, Princess Anya. Qin Yun immediately received it. Qin Yun, did you see the news posted on the magic mirror? Princess Anya's voice is very anxious. I saw it. Princess, what do you know? Qin Yun hastily asked. They are offering sacrifices to the heavens. 9 Yang Divine Palace told them to do this. Princess Anya said. What? Offering sacrifices to the heavens, what can they offer? Qin Yun said in astonishment. I don't know. In short, 9 Yang Divine Palace is asking for help from the heavens. Princess Anya said in grave voice. Qin Yun, it seems like 9 Yang Divine Palace wants to do something. I have already left the Imperial Race Divine Palace. Have you been discovered by 9 Yang Divine Palace? Qin Yun asked. I was surrounded by 9 Yang Divine Palace people in the Dragon Manor. Luckily I was able to escape. Princess Anya sighed and said, they should have discovered that I awakened 9 Sun bloodline. Didn't you sign a contract with the Imperial Race and was pledged to the Imperial Race Divine Palace? Will you be alright if you run out now? Qin Yun asked with frown. I can't get protection in the Dragon Manor, so the contract will automatically be cancelled. I am no longer affected by the contract. Princess Anya said. I am in the Dragon Manor, absorbing enough energy from the Emperor Blood Pool and enough energy from the Emperor Mountain. Qin Yun now knows that Princess Anya entered the Dragon Manor with many goals. He asked, did 9 Yang Divine Palace start offering sacrifices to the heavens after discovering you? I'm not sure if it's because of me. Princess Anya said, Qin Yun, where are you? I'll go find you. Qin Yun set a place and told her to hurry over. Princess Anya wants to help him cultivate the powerful sun core. Moreover, she is that 9 Sun Divine Maiden. Qin Yun does not want anything to happen to her. Princess Anya immediately rushed over. Qin Yun walked out of the floating cloud pagoda and arrived outside. Outside there is a very large magic mirror, it is like a wall. Mountain God, Xiao Hua and others are watching the scene of the heavens offering. Qin Yun took out the magic mirror and contacted Shimen Dezhuang. Dezhuang, what is your master doing? Qin Yun asked. Boss, they are offering sacrifices to the heavens. They want to use me to offer sacrifices to the heavens. Quickly save me. Shimen Dezhuang cried and shouted. I'm going to die. What? Then why didn't you contact me before? Qin Yun is startled and hastily said. I was so scared that I peed my pants, I didn't think of you. Qinglian is also by my side, boss. Whether or not we can survive depends on you. We are all from the inscription gate. You can't just watch as we are sacrificed to the heavens. Shimen Dezhuang shouted. Qin Yun is also very anxious, he said again. Where is Pippi Pig? Pippi Pig has been sealed. He also wants to be sacrificed to the heavens with me. Shimen Dezhuang cried and shouted. Boss, I'm going to die, quickly come and save me. I will definitely drug Qinglian and give her to you. Qin Yun is somewhat speechless. At this time, Shimin Dazhuang's brain is still so strange. When are you going to die? Qin Yun asked. Chapter 1832. True Sacrifice. Qin Yun heard Shimin Dazhuang shouting, and did not know whether to laugh or cry. He comforted him and said, "Dazhuang, calm down. I will save you." "Uncle, I am going to die. Goodbye." Shimin Dazhuang shouted in frustration. "Back then I knew that Tian Dao Zi did not have good intentions in accepting me as a disciple. He must have seen that I am handsome, that's why he accepted me as a disciple and then turned me into a sacrifice. Dazhuang, the reason why you were sacrificed to the heavens has nothing to do with your appearance. I am very sure of this." Qin Yun said, "Calm down first and tell me about the situation inside the heavenly law altar." Shimin Dazhuang said, "My master sat on a chair and told me that I would become a sacrifice to worship the heavens. Then he returned to the heavens. Apart from this, what else did he say? Did he say what would happen after the sacrifice?" Qin Yun asked. Shimin Dazhuang could not calm down at all. He cried and shouted, "I can't remember, I am going to die, I can't remember anything." "Dazhuang, if you believe me, you won't die." Qin Yun shouted, "Pull yourself together, aren't you afraid of being laughed at by others for crying like this?" "I am going to die, so be it." Shimin Dazhuang believes that he is going to die for sure. He is filled with pessimism. Qin Yun already took out the heaven-leaping shuttle and entered it. He said to the magic mirror, "I am inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. I will be able to reach the vicinity of the heavenly law altar soon. What is the situation there? Quickly tell me." Shimin Dazhuang is indeed muddled by the fear of death. He momentarily forgot many things. When he heard Qin Yun mention the heaven-leaping shuttle, he immediately saw hope and shouted, "Boss, the heaven-leaping shuttle should be able to enter, quickly come over." Qin Yun feels that if he wants to know more about the heaven sacrifice, he can only save Shimin Dazhuang. "I will be there soon." Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and began traveling. The heaven-leaping shuttle did not mark the location of the sun altar, so it cannot teleport there immediately. It can only continuously travel through space according to the direction. Just as Qin Yun left the divine inscription mountain, he sensed that Princess Anya is nearby. He controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and teleported Princess Anya in. After Princess Anya came to the main control room, she said, "Qin Yun, are you going to the scene of the heaven sacrifice? I have a friend inside the heavenly law altar, I want to save him." Qin Yun said, "Is it a very important friend?" Princess Dark Knight asked, then sat on a chair, watching the scene of the sacrifice in the magic mirror. Qin Yun nodded and said, "Indeed, I must rescue him. It seems like he is being used as a sacrifice." The heaven-leaping shuttle began to travel through space. "If he's a friend, then of course I'll save him." However, after entering the heavenly altar, there may be danger. Princess Anya said, "You must be prepared to deal with all dangers." Qin Yun nodded and asked, "Princess, how much do you know about this heaven offering?" Princess Anya shook her head and said, "I don't know much about it, but I'm worried that it's aimed at me. Because those fellows from the Nine-Yang Divine Palace failed to capture me, they launched the heaven sacrifice. Did they say anything to you when they caught you? You are the only person with the bloodline of the Nine-Sun royal family. Don't they want to revive the entire Nine-Sun royal family?" Qin Yun also feels that it is strange. Why did the Nine-Yang Divine Palace want to capture Princess Anya? It's because I'm the only one, that's why they want to destroy me. Princess Anya snorted. How could they let me lead the imperial family? Qin Yun also can't understand what the Nine-Yang Divine Palace and the imperial family are thinking. He sighed and said, "If I were the upper echelons of the imperial family and the Nine-Yang Divine Palace, I would definitely nurture you well and make you stronger. You are not them. If you were, you might not think so. In different positions, different thoughts will be produced. You said that you will nurture me well because you and I have a good relationship and I will not pose any threat to you. Princess Anya shook her head. However, Elder Qin and the Qin clan king mean that they will not refuse you. Qin Yun said with a frown. Can the Qin clan king represent the upper echelons of the imperial family? He can't. The Qin clan king is only the Qin clan king of the immortal desolate. The highest echelons of the imperial family are those people from the divine desolate. They are guiding the general direction of the various imperial families in the divine desolate. The various imperial families will also report many things to them, Princess Anya said. Because according to the prophecy, the only 9-son royal family bloodline will exterminate the imperial family and the dark royal family. Princess Anya has a special body protection curse on her body, so no one dared to attack her. Otherwise, if they killed her, the mastermind behind the scenes would also be cursed. And her body protection curse was created by her mother using her own life. Although she is the reincarnation of the 9-son divine maiden, she has very deep feelings for her mother in this life. Just like Qin Yun, he knows that he has the past life of immortal King Fu Yun, but he still has feelings for his parents. It is a kind of blood connection. Princess Anya's mother was very miserable back then, mainly because of the imperial family and the dark royal family. Therefore, these two races are worried that Princess Anya would harbor hatred in her heart. Not long after, the heaven-leaping shuttle arrived near the heaven sacrifice site. A few sun altars are surrounding the huge heavenly law altar. They are flickering with strong white light. The top of the heavenly law altar shot a white light into the sky. A white mist enveloped the sky. This heaven sacrifice ceremony should have nothing to do with me. After Princess Anya arrived, she said, no matter what, the heaven sacrifice ceremony has nothing to do with me. After all, I don't know what this heaven is like. 9-son divine palace knows that they are sacrificing to the heaven. Maybe they want to obtain the power bestowed by the heaven to strengthen themselves and use it to capture you? Qin Yun said. Don't talk about this, think of a way to save your friend. Princess Anya said. She is also worried that 9-son divine palace will become even stronger and capture her. After she awakened her 9-son bloodline, she does not want to fall into anyone's hands. Therefore, she thought of Qin Yun. She knows that being together with Qin Yun is the safest. Dezhuang, I can see the heavenly law altar. I will go in immediately. Qin Yun said. Boss, can you come in? I am worried that this place will prevent you from entering through space. Shiman Dezhuang shouted. I will give it a try. Qin Yun replied. The space here is indeed very complex. It is producing all kinds of spatial fluctuations. For example, he can connect with Shiman Dezhuang's devil mirror, but he cannot determine Shiman Dezhuang's location through the devil mirror. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to conceal itself, and then flew forward. A very strong spatial fluctuation has appeared in the sky above the heavenly law altar. After Qin Yun arrived, the heaven-leaping shuttle also sensed it and began violently shaking. However, the heaven-leaping shuttle is still able to fly forward smoothly. The spatial fluctuation outside is very strong but not crazy. Is it very stable opening up a space? Qin Yun doubtfully said. What caused him to be amazed is that the heaven-leaping shuttle can actually very easily approach the heavenly law altar and even enter that giant mountain-like altar. It is as if there is no barrier guarding against him. Qin Yun very easily entered and arrived at a spacious hall inside the heavenly law altar. Shiman Dezhuang is here. He is lying on the ground, looking at the devil mirror and washing his face with tears. Shiman Qinglian is a beautiful woman. She is wearing a blue skirt. She is very elegantly sitting on a stone chair and looking at the devil mirror. She is very calm as if nothing has happened. Uncle, I knew you would come. Shiman Qinglian saw the heaven-leaping shuttle appear. She tenderly laughed and jumped up. She kicked Shimin Dazhuang's butt and yelled, "Wake up, Uncle is here." Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and sent them to the main control room. After Shimin Dazhuang entered the main control room, he immediately changed into a completely different person and started laughing heartily. "This guy." Qin Yun shook his head and said with smile, "Where is Pippi Pig? Where is it sealed?" "Above." Shimin Qinglian pointed up. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and arrived at another hall. Pippi Pig, who has turned into a small pig, is lying on the ground and sleeping. He is also very calm. "Seal? It seems like there is no seal here," Qin Yun said with frown and then brought the sleeping Pippi Pig inside. Princess Anya asked, "Shimin Dezhuang, were you really sacrificed to heaven?" "It's true. My master Tian Dao Zi told me that he has already returned to heaven." Shimin Dezhuang nodded and said, "Qinglian, what's going on?" Qin Yun feels that it is more reliable to ask Shimin Qinglian. That old swindler Tian Dao Zi said that it is heaven's will and he wants to return to heaven and become a servant. He said that Dazhuang is the chosen sacrifice. Shimin Qinglian said with frown, "That old swindler Tian Dao Zi, why did he choose this guy as the sacrifice? He really doesn't have eyes." "Qinglian, the reason why I became the sacrifice is because Tian Dao Zi approved of my handsomeness," Shimin Dezhuang said with certainty while holding Pippi Pig. "The heaven sacrifice ceremony has been going on for a very long time, yet you are still alive. I think it is because you are too strange that even heaven did not accept you." Shimin Qinglian giggled and said. Qin Yun said, "Let's go back to the Divine Inscription Mountain." Just as he was about to control the heaven-leaping shuttle, he suddenly discovered that he is unable to travel through space. Qin Yun's expression abruptly changed. "Uncle, what's wrong?" Shimin Qinglian said anxiously. "Something happened. The heaven-leaping shuttle can come in but it can't go out." Qin Yun cried out in alarm. "Motherfucker, don't tell me this is a trap?" Shimin Dezhuang cursed in low voice. "Damn that Tian Dao Zi! He actually used me as bait to lure master here." "Uncle, Tian Dao Zi's target is you. No wonder he said that Dazhuang is the sacrifice. It is indeed because of Dazhuang that he lured you here." Shimin Qinglian lightly groaned, kicked Shimin Dezhuang and yelled, "Dezhuang, what is your master's goal?" How would I know? He kept saying that boss is the enemy of heavenly Tao." Shimin Dezhuang bitterly sighed and said, "Boss, I have harmed you. We are all going to die, why aren't you crying?" Shimin Qinglian curled her lips and said, Because boss is here, I believe that boss will be able to escape." Shimin Dezhuang sat on the ground and caressed Pippi Pig. Qin Yun also doesn't know what kind of trick Tian Dao Zi is playing. He actually used this kind of method to lure him here. Chapter 1833. Heavenly Gate. The activity outside is very big. When Qin Yun came in, he sensed very strong spatial fluctuation. It is as if a large space passage is being torn open. Such strong spatial fluctuation makes him feel that a passage between sacred desolate and divine desolate is being opened. It is very quiet inside. Princess Anya said, "We saw from the magic mirror that there should be a big movement outside, but it is very quiet inside." Shimin Qinglian said, "This heavenly Tao altar is offering sacrifices to heaven. What is going on?" Qin Yun said, "How about we go out and take a look?" They are still inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. Shimin Dezhuang hastily yelled, "Boss, don't go out, it is very dangerous outside." Shimin Qinglian delicately groaned and said, "Dezhuang, if you know something, quickly say it. In order to save us, Uncle fell into this kind of danger, don't hide it." Shimin Dezhuang hugged Pippi Pig and sat on the ground. He said in low voice, "Although Master has returned to heaven, his soul is still inside this mountain." "What's going on?" Qin Yun said with frown. "Master said that his body is too old and can't hold on anymore, so he abandoned it." But his soul is still here. Shimin Dezhuang said. Just that I don't know where it is. If you go out and his soul collides with you, maybe his body will be snatched away. Princess Anya said. Is Tian Daozi really going to seize someone else's body? Shimin Dezhuang shook his head and said. That is just my guess. In short, I don't want to go out. I am so handsome, he will surely set his eyes on me. Dezhuang, what else do you know? Quickly say it. Shimin Qinglian yelled. That old bastard Tian Daozi, what is he trying to do? How did this heaven sacrifice ceremony take place? This is definitely not his intention, otherwise the sun altar would not have come here. This is also what Qin Yun and Princess Anya want to know. Shimin Dezhuang shook his head and said, I really don't know, you can ask my master. His soul is still here, it means we can communicate with him. I'll go out for a while. Qin Yun said, You guys just stay here. No, I will go out with you. Princess Anya placed her hand on Qin Yun's shoulder and said sternly, My strength is not weaker than yours. Princess Yi is also worried that something might happen to Qin Yun because Qin Yun wants to bring her to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. Alright. Qin Yun nodded. If you want to go out, let's go out together. Shimin Qinglian smiled and said, If something happens to you, there is no point in us staying here. She looked at Shimin Dezhuang. Shimin Dezhuang curled his lips and said, If you all go out, then I can only follow you. Pippi Pig had already woken up. Shimin Dezhuang felt that with Pippi Pig around, he could intimidate Tian Daozi's soul. The four of them and the pig left the heaven leaping shuttle and went to the great hall outside. Shimin Dezhuang pointed to the largest chair at the front and said, Master sat there and passed away. After he died, I don't know where his soul went. His body suddenly turned into ashes. Qin Yun walked over and sat on the chair. He shouted, Senior Tian Daozi, I am Qin Yun, the enemy of heavenly Dao you always speak of. I am here. His voice was so loud that it reverberated within the heavenly altar. After he finished shouting, he released a very strong mental power. On one hand, it is to probe Tian Daozi's soul command, on the other hand, it is to protect himself so that he won't be plotted against by Tian Daozi. Shimin Dezhuang said in low voice, Boss, maybe he has already passed away to heaven? His soul is still here, that is only my guess. I know you have come. Tian Daozi's voice suddenly arrived. Hearing Tian Daozi's voice, Shimin Dezhuang felt very angry and yelled, Master, am I still your disciple or not? How can you trick me like this? Tian Daozi chuckled and said, Dezhuang, it is your honor to become a sacrifice and participate in the heaven sacrifice. Honor your grandpa. Quickly let us out. Shimin Dezhuang cursed. Since you can come here, it means this is your heavenly mandate. Tian Daozi said with smile. You should follow the heavenly mandate and participate in the heaven sacrifice. This is a great blessing, you are giving your everything to the heavens. Senior Tian Daozi, why does the sun altar participate in the heaven sacrifice? Qin Yun asked. He has never taken Tian Daozi's nonsense to heart. That was decided by me and the heavenly servants. Now the ones controlling the sun altar are also heavenly servants, they are my fellow Taoists. And our common goal is to trap the enemy of heavenly Tao here and open the heavenly gate. Tian Daozi said. Heavenly servants? Who are they? Princess Anya asked. They are from 9 Yang Divine Palace. Tian Daozi said with smile. 9 Yang Divine Palace and 9 Sun sects have heavenly servants and my position is higher than them. Just to trap me here? Didn't you say you want us to sacrifice to the heavens? Qin Yun doubtfully asked. Trapping you here is equivalent to sacrificing to the heavens. You will become the energy needed by the heavenly Tao. In short, this will allow the heavenly gate to smoothly open. Tian Daozi said with smile. Qin Yun and Princess Anya glanced at each other. They also know that the crucial point now is that heavenly gate. The Sun Altar and Heavenly Tao Altar are joining hands to open the Heavenly Gate. Tian Daozi said again, "If we don't trap you here, you will definitely stop the Heavenly Gate from opening." "What's the use of opening the Heavenly Gate?" Qin Yun asked. "The Heavenly Gate leads to the Heavenly Tao's mission. That place is called the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. It is also one of the Sun's sacred lands." Tian Daozi chuckled and said, "I received the heavenly mandate, saying that you are not allowed to go to that place. That's why I set up a trap and trapped you here." "Damned guy!" Princess Anya cursed in low voice. She and Qin Yun both want to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. The Cloud Dragon Mountain Range is very important to them, but now they are trapped in this place. "Who issued the heavenly mandate?" Qin Yun asked. If it was any other time, he would not have felt anything, but the person who issued the heavenly mandate has indeed calculated very accurately to trap him and Princess Anya here. Because once they enter the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, it will definitely affect many people. And Qin Yun is also about to head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range with Xiekir. Of course the heavenly mandate is issued by the heavens. Tian Daozi chuckled and said, "You two are the great enemies of the Heavenly Tao. You can't go to that place." Princess Anya took out the Heavenly Flame Divine Fan and poured the core crystal's energy into it. Then she waved it towards a wall. Whoosh whoosh. A ball of flames, accompanied by a fierce gale, hit a wall and exploded with a loud bang. "I want to go out," Princess Anya growled. "Don't think of trapping me, I want to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range." Going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range is extremely important to her. And now, the Heavenly Gate to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range is about to open above the Heavenly Law Altar. Princess Anya is so anxious that she went crazy, she kept hitting a wall. "It's useless, it's useless." Tian Daozi chuckled and said, "This Heavenly Law Altar has received the help of the Heavenly Power and has become even stronger. No one can destroy the Heavenly Law Altar." "Princess, calm down," Qin Yun said in a deep voice. Shimin Qinglian also walked over and hugged Princess Anya's body to calm her down. Qin Yun inadvertently glanced at Shimin Qinglian. When she was hugging Princess Anya, her lily-white hands were not honest at all. She actually took advantage of the situation to take advantage of Princess Anya. One must know that this Shimin Qinglian is also a female rogue. Just like Xiao Yuelan and Yu Shaoling, she thinks about taking advantage of all kinds of beauties. Even at this juncture, Shimin Qinglian still refused to change. Qin Yun was somewhat worried that Princess Anya would flip out. However, the innocent Princess Anya did not seem to feel that Shimin Qinglian was taking advantage of her. Princess Dark Knight shouted, "I must go out, I must go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, I must find my true self there." Her 8 souls and 8 spirits were sealed inside. Everything she knew about the 9 Yang royal family was also in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Therefore, she was very anxious now. "Don't panic, we will definitely go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range." Qin Yun was very calm because he had never thought of using the Heaven Gate to head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. His Heaven Leaping Shuttle was the key to heading to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. It took him a lot of effort to obtain the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, so in his previous life, he had already arranged for him to use the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. "Don't even think about it, obediently worship the heavens here." Tian Daozi chuckled and said. Qin Yun released the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and entered it. Shimin Dezhuang called out, "Shifu, if you make a new body, I will definitely let you have a taste of Pippi Pig's new unique skill. If I can't stink you to death, I'll change my surname to yours. Dezhuang, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even know how to lure the enemy of the Heavenly Tao in." "Thank you," Tian Daozi said with a smile. Shimin Dezhuang screamed in anger. He jumped up and down in the Great Hall, wishing that he could beat Tian Daozi up. Qin Yun also teleported the irascible Shimin Dezhuang into the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Dazhuang, Qinglian, you are all members of the Inscription Gate. You must believe in me, the sect master. Qin Yun said with a smile, we won't be trapped here to death. Shimin Qinglian is still holding Princess Dark Knight's lily-white hand, unwilling to let go. Although she can't see Princess Dark Knight's face, she knows that she is definitely a great beauty. I believe you, uncle, Shimin Qinglian said with a charming smile. Uncle, let me and Pippi Pig out. I want to scold that old fellow to death, Shimin Dazhuang said. Scolding Tian Daozi is useless. Besides, this guy won't get angry so easily. Qin Yun shook his head and said with smile, don't waste your breath on him. No, I want to go out and scold him. If I don't scold him, I won't be able to swallow the anger in my heart, Shimin Dazhuang said. Qin Yun can only teleport Shimin Dazhuang and Pippi Pig out. Shimin Dazhuang shouted from outside the Great Hall. Pippi Pig, quickly use fart heavenly wave. Pippi Pig suddenly became big and let out a fart filled with intense vibration, causing the entire Heavenly Tao altar to shake. The most dreadful thing is that the energy wave is like raging waves and stormy seas, unceasingly fluctuating. Pippi Pig is so awesome. Qin Yun is somewhat amazed. Chapter 1834. Reforged Dragon Heavenly Pattern. Tian Daozi was actually very worried. It could be seen that Shimin Dazhuang's actions were still effective. If you don't let us out, I'll turn this heavenly altar into a smelly altar. Shimin Dazhuang laughed and said, Master, I know your soul, you can also feel Pippi Pig's smelly fart. Ha ha. Pippi Pig's smelly fart affected the soul. Shimin Dazhuang had refined a type of talisman that would not be affected by smelly fart. I have to protect my heaven-leaping shuttle, I can't let it stink. Qin Yun shook his head and said with smile, Uncle, what are we going to do next? Shimin Qinglian held Princess Anya's hand and said, Are we going to wait for Dazhuang to succeed? Of course not, we need to refine something now. Qin Yun laughed and said, To be honest, I have always wanted to enter the Heavenly Law altar to refine those things. Qin Yun still has 10 Gemini heavenly runes. He wanted to refine 9 dragon heavenly runes with the Gemini heavenly rune in his hand. He had promised the immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor and the Red Sun Dragon Mother that he would make a 9 dragons heaven source formation for the dragon race. After he succeeded, he would also obtain the dragon race's ultimate treasure, the mysterious box left behind by the 9 Suns royal race. Qin Yun thought about it and then let Long Tianji, Zi Qingqing and Shui Tianzi come out. Shimin Qinglian was overjoyed to the extreme when she saw these 3 great beauties. Of course, she only revealed a charming smile on her face. After pinching Zi Qingqing's face, Qin Yun teleported them to the largest warehouse. He took out many damaged divine-grade weapons and a large number of unchanging holy stones, letting them choose some to melt. As for Qin Yun and Princess Anya, they came to the 8th chamber. Qin Yun, are you really confident that you can get out? Princess Anyi asked. She felt more at ease when she saw that Qin Yun was very calm. I have my ways, there is no one in this world who can trap me, Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. If you understand me, you should be very clear about this. Princess Anya said, Well, what are you going to do next? What are you going to refine? I want to create a heavenly 9 dragons formation. It's for dragon race, Qin Yun said. Dragon clan? Which dragon? Princess Anyi asked anxiously. She had previously told Qin Yun that if he gave the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation to others, he must discuss it with her. Immortal Desolate Dragon Race. The dragon race led by Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor and Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother. Qin Yun said, Do you have any objection? If you give it to them, I can. Princess Anya nodded and said, I have met the members of the Dragon Clan, and they are all very good. What if I give it to the Imperial Dragon Clan and the Outer Heaven Dragon Clan? Qin Yun said with a smile. Then I don't agree. Those bastards from the Imperial Dragon clan destroyed the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation themselves. Although that 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation is about to be destroyed, it can at least hold on for a period of time. Speaking of this matter, Princess Yi became angry and said coldly, "And the Dragon Clan of the Outer Heavens, these guys are also unreliable. They have the 9 dragons' heaven origin formation, but they can't make a name for themselves in the Outer Heavens." Qin Yun said with smile, "Don't worry, I will not give it to them." Qin Yun and Princess Anya know that the immortal desolate dragon race is dissatisfied with the 9 Yang Divine Palace. That damned 9 Yang Divine Palace, they actually use this kind of method to open a spatial passage. Princess Anya stamped her foot. "They captured me before because they didn't want me to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. The more they don't want me to go, the more I want to go." "Princess, that girl Qinglian is a bit careless. If she goes too far, I hope you won't blame her," Qin Yun said. "Humph. I already knew it. She is just like Yuelon, rotten to the core." Princess Anya lightly groaned and said, "She took advantage of me a lot just now. If she was not a woman, I would have turned her into ashes with a single fan." Qin Yun said with smile, "Then many thanks to your Highness Princess for not minding this lowly one's wrongs." Princess Anya coldly groaned and said, "Qin Yun, you didn't give the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation to the immortal desolate dragon race for nothing, right? Didn't they give you anything good?" "Immortal desolate dragon emperor promised me that he would give me something left behind by the 9 Yang royal family, a mysterious chest." Qin Yun took out a heavenly rune bead and Gemini treasure mirror, and began refining the Gemini heavenly rune. The Gemini treasure mirror had 9 dragon heavenly runes on it, and when it shone on the Gemini heavenly rune, it would transform the Gemini heavenly rune into a dragon heavenly rune. This process would only consume the power of the blood soul. In order to make the dragon heavenly rune even stronger, Qin Yun released the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation and the divine universe golden rock. The 9 dragons' heaven origin formation absorbed the divine universe goldstone's power, transformed it, and released it into the heavenly pattern bead and Gemini treasure mirror. As a result, the refined dragon heavenly patterns were extremely powerful. "Qin Yun, what are you doing?" Princess Anya felt that it was inconceivable for Qin Yun to toss around a pearl with such a big lineup. "I'm refining the dragon heavenly pattern," Qin Yun said. "The 9 dragon heavenly rune is recorded in my mirror. I want to refine it out from the mirror." Princess Anya was surprised and said, "How is this possible?" Complete heavenly runes were extremely difficult to refine, especially a heavenly pattern like the 9 dragon heavenly pattern. Qin Yun laughed mischievously and then told Princess Anya about the Gemini heavenly rune. After Princess Anya heard, she clicked her tongue in amazement and said, "You are truly the enemy of heavenly Tao. If you refine a dragon heavenly rune like this, you will surely suffer a heavenly punishment, right?" "Indeed. That kind of heavenly punishment is just ordinary heavenly thunder. It is not a big deal, I experienced it once before," Qin Yun said. "The dragon heavenly rune you refine this time will surely be even stronger after being refined by the divine universe golden rock and the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation," Princess Anya said. "But it doesn't matter, inside the heavenly Tao altar, the heavenly punishment can't hit me," Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. "The 9 dragons heavenly origin formation I refine this time will be even stronger. I will also use divine tier materials. I will have to trouble you when the time comes." Princess Anya's heavenly flame divine fan can help him refine those divine tier materials. "So you want to keep the strongest 9 dragons heavenly origin formation for yourself?" Princess Anya asked. "Of course. The previous one was given to the immortal desolate dragon race," Qin Yun said with smile. "Anyway, the immortal desolate dragon emperor said that the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation is good enough." Princess Anya nodded and said, It is indeed good enough. Their previous 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation was almost finished. Qin Yun's dragon heavenly rune this time is even stronger, especially after absorbing divine universe power. He also doesn't know what will happen in the end. It will take several days to refine a dragon heavenly rune. This means that the dragon heavenly rune will be even stronger, hehe. Qin Yun is somewhat excited. Qin Yun, can you also make a 9 dragons heavenly origin formation for me in the future? I won't treat you unfairly, Princess Anya said. The key is the Gemini heavenly rune. I will ask Big Sister Kong for it next time, Qin Yun said. Alright. Princess Anya also wants a very strong 9 dragons heavenly origin formation. How about this? I will go to the Guanghan Palace and ask for the Gemini heavenly rune, Qin Yun said with smile. If you go to the Guanghan Palace, Yuelan will take advantage of you. Princess Anya groaned and said, There is nothing to be afraid of, I will just take it back. Let's talk about it after we get out, Qin Yun said. If the box given to you by Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor really has something left behind by 9 Sun Royal family, then it must have an inheritance mission, Princess Anya suddenly said. Then what could it be? Qin Yun is very curious. I don't know. In short, that kind of box existed during the golden age of 9 Sun Royal family. Princess Anya shook her head. I have to get my hands on it to know the specifics. In my 9 Sun Divine Maiden's memory, it is something that 9 Sun Royal family used to rise again after their decline. This made Qin Yun even more curious. If that is the case, then it must be a very important inheritance. Qin Yun is refining Dragon Heavenly Rune in 8th Secret Room. Princess Anya took the initiative to help him refine materials. She brought Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron and Star Fire Divine Liquid to the large warehouse. Together with those women, they went to pick out God-tier materials to refine. This way, after Qin Yun refined 9 Dragon Heavenly Runes, he can start very quickly. Outside of the Heavenly Law Altar, the few sun altars have been revolving around the Great Altar for more than 10 days and suddenly stop. Now there is news that Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle entered the Heavenly Law Altar and then never came out again. As for what happened inside, nobody knows. And above the Heavenly Law Altar, a 100-meter wide white whirlpool appeared, rippling with formless spatial fluctuations. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor and Red Sun Dragon Mother are floating in the air. Sigh, Xiaofuyun was finally suppressed. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor sighed. Indeed. Why didn't he grow some heart? He actually ran inside. Red Sun Dragon Mother sighed in regret. Let's prepare to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Since they invited us, we must go and take a look. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor said. Why did they also let Dark Royal Race and Outer Heaven Domain people go? Those guys don't have good intentions. Red Sun Dragon Mother said somewhat angrily. Even if we don't let them go, they will be able to go sooner or later. If we agree to let them use this passage to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, they also need to agree to the 9 Yang Divine Palace's conditions and not cause trouble in the Immortal Desolate. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor said. In short, this is the 9 Yang Divine Palace's decision. The Alliance Army and the Variant Dragon Race have already arrived at the Immortal Desolate. All kinds of powerful powers are making preparations to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. And the news of Qin Yun being sealed also made many people feel at ease. Especially the Alliance Army, they are somewhat worried about Qin Yun because Qin Yun is very good at causing trouble. Within a palace hall of the Imperial Race Divine Palace, a group of elders from the 9 Yang Divine Palace and a few clan kings are together. Tian Daozi said that Qin Yun and Princess and Yi are sealed inside the Heavenly Law Altar and will never be able to escape. An elder from the 9 Yang Divine Palace sighed and said, What a pity, if Qin Yun's Divine Universe Golden Stone fell into our hands, that would be great. The Qin clan king said with some dissatisfaction, Qin Yun is a member of our imperial race. Moreover, he saved heartless immortal venerable and fought against the sun spirit race. He has made great contributions to our imperial race. Qin imperial race is forbidden from entering the heavenly gate. The elder from the 9-yang divine palace shouted coldly. Chapter 1835. The 9-yang divine palace did not allow the Qin imperial clan to go to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. This also angered the Qin clan king. Because the heaven gate was opened by the 9-yang divine palace, and they did not allow the Qin imperial clan to go. The Qin clan king had no choice but to turn around and leave. The 9-yang divine palace joined hands with Tiandaozi and the other sun altars to seal Qin Yun. This is something that the Qin clan king is very dissatisfied with. Because Qin Yun is a member of the imperial clan and had once contributed greatly to the entire imperial clan. But now, he has been sealed by the 9-yang divine palace. Within the great hall, the 9-yang divine palace and the other clan kings all became silent for a moment. The imperial clan kings all know what the Qin clan king is angry about. The 9-yang divine palace feels that they did the right thing. Sealing Qin Yun and that princess and Yi is the most correct thing to do. The old man from the 9-yang divine palace said coldly. No matter how much the imperial clan owes Qin Yun, he is still a scourge. He must be sealed. If we allow him to continue acting recklessly, it will bring a great disaster to our imperial clan. When are we going to the Cloud Dragon mountain range? How do we go there? The imperial dragon clan king said. The heaven gate has already been opened, are we going to go there directly? At that time we will enter those sun altars. The sun altars will be teleported to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. If the outer heaven realm and the dark royal race want to pass through the heaven gate, they will need to enter the sun altar. The old man from the 9-yang divine palace said. Why do we have to pass through the sun altar? Can't we just directly enter the heaven gate? The Shao clan king asked. The heaven gate leads to another space, there is a certain risk. If we directly enter, it is very likely that we will be killed. The old man from the 9-yang divine palace said. Only by entering the sun altar can we safely pass through. The imperial dragon clan king said. The dark royal race might not pass through us, they have Xieyang. The old man from the 9-yang palace sneered. Xieyang was able to go to the Cloud Dragon mountain range, but that was a long time ago. Now it won't be so easy. In short, if they want to go to the Cloud Dragon mountain range from the Immortal Desolate, they have to get our approval. If they want to go to the Cloud Dragon mountain range, they have to agree to our conditions. This way, we will have even more authority in the Immortal Desolate land. The news of Qin Yun being sealed has spread throughout the Immortal Desolate, Outer Heaven Domain and Dark Royal Race all know about it. Although they hated Qin Yun very much, they were filled with resentment towards the 9-yang divine palace after learning that Qin Yun had been sealed. Qin Yun had a very large divine universe metal stone and 2 sun souls. Now that they were sealed by the 9-yang divine palace, wouldn't that mean that they had fallen into the hands of the 9-yang divine palace? Of course, even though they were dissatisfied, there was nothing they could do. Because they were very clear on how powerful the sun altar and the heavenly altar were. They had no way of breaking through the heavenly altar. The sun altar belonged to the 9-sun sect. In the divine wilderness, the 9-sun sect had already pledged allegiance to the Dharch race, and the Dharch race had a very close relationship with the 9-yang divine hall. Therefore, the few sun altars in the Immortal Desolate also listened to the 9-yang divine palace's arrangements. The few palace masters of the Guanghan Palace are all very anxious because Qin Yun is sealed inside the Heavenly Law altar and now they have to head to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. Within the Moon Palace, there was a huge mountain that looked like ice jade. There were many caves within it. That mountain really was the Moon God Mountain. In one of the caves, Xie Qiru, who had turned into a little girl, was inside a bright stone room. She was absorbing the faint silver light and cultivating. Yu Yu walked into the cave and gently pushed open the stone room's door. She has a head full of white hair, her long white braids are hanging in front of her body. Her jade-like beautiful face is filled with worry. Sister Xiaoro, something happened to Xiao Yun. After Yu Yu entered, she said with a sigh. Xie and Xian Yinyun were together. Xie opened her eyes and asked in a tender and sweet voice, "What happened?" Yu Yu informed Xie of Qin Yun's situation. After Xie heard this, she frowned and said, "Sigh, there are so many variables before entering the Cloud Dragon Mountain range." Yu Yu said, "Then what should we do now? Should we go and save him?" Xie shook her head and said, "If Xiao Yun can't come out, it would be useless for us to save him. Don't worry, he can come out. Believe in his strength." "Then what about going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range? The Emperor Race Divine Palace has invited our Guang Han Palace." Yu Yu said, "Is that so? That's a good thing." Xie is somewhat surprised and said, "Yu Yu, agree to them. We'll discuss the number of people we'll send. Try not to send too many people." Yu Yu thought for a moment and said, "Aren't you going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range with Xiao Yun?" Xie shook her head and said, "In short, I'll think of a way to contact Xiao Yun. We have to prepare for both sides." "I want to go with Big Sister, is that okay?" Yu Yu sought Xie opinion. "She wants to go with Yang Shuriwe." "No, Shuriwe wants to stay in the Guang Han Palace. The Guang Han Palace needs someone to guard it." Xie said, "I suggest that you stay in the Guang Han Palace and let Shuriwe go with us. Also, you can stay here and pay attention to Xiao Yun's situation." Yu Yu thought that Qin Yun is still trapped in the Heavenly Law Altar and wants to stay in the Immortal Desolate. She nodded. "Sister Xiaoro, how many people are going from our Guang Han Palace?" Yu Yu asked. "Me, Yuelon, Little Malian, Sister Shuyan, these are the people I've chosen." Xie said. "What about Sister Rujing and Bing Xing?" Yu Yu said, "They are all very strong. Bing Xing should stay in the Guang Han Palace. Rujing is the reincarnation of the Snow Goddess, bring her along. Remember to make her leave Lingxue in the Guang Han Palace." Xie said. "Xian Lingxue is Xian Rujing's avatar, she is staying in the Guang Han Palace just in case. This trip is rather dangerous, we won't send inscription masters. Let Ling Long and the others stay in the Guang Han Palace, and guard the Guang Han Palace well." Yu Yu nodded and said. Xie said, "Yu Yu, go ask those old grannies and choose 5 old grannies to go with us." Yu Yu suddenly thought of something and said, "What about Uma? Do you want her to go? If we don't let her go, she will cause a ruckus." Xie said with a light smile, "Dealing with Uma is too easy. Just tell her to stay in the Guang Han Palace and wait for Xiao Yun's news. If Xiao Yun comes out of the Heavenly Law Altar, let Xiao Yun bring her to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range." "That's true." Yu Yu smiled mischievously. "Sister Xiaoro, you are also using Xiao Yun as an excuse to make me obediently stay in the Guang Han Palace. You are really bad." "Yu Yu, who told you to be so concerned about Xiao Yun?" Xie smiled. "Her appearance is extremely cute, causing Yu Yu to be unable to help but pinch her little face." Yu Yu looked at Xian Yinyun, who is cultivating at the side, and asked, "Sister Kiru, is Xiao Yinyun going?" Xie shook her head and said, "She's not going, she's my avatar." "That's true." Yu Yu reached out and caressed Xian Yinyun's gentle and beautiful face. "Yu Yu, don't worry about Xiao Yun. He will definitely have a way to come out. I will also think of a way to contact him," Xie said. "And then I'll go make the arrangements first." Yu Yu felt relieved and left Xie cave residence. After Yu Yu left, Xie took out a beast's skin and spread it out on the ground. This beast's skin is a part of the Immortal Graveyard diagram. Xie, Xiao Yuelon, Qi Meiyan and Qin Yun each have a piece in their hands. When combined, it is complete. Xiao Yun. Siekiru lightly shouted at the beast's skin. There is a close connection between the immortal graveyard diagram. However, Qin Yun can only contact Siekiru through the immortal graveyard diagram. He is unable to contact Xiao Yuelan and Qi Meilian. Qin Yun is inside the 8th secret room of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, refining the dragon heavenly rune. He suddenly sensed the fluctuation released by the immortal graveyard diagram and hastily took it out. He heard Siekiru's sweet voice. Sister Kiru. Qin Yun is very happy. Sister Kiru, we finally used the immortal graveyard diagram to communicate. I thought we would never be able to communicate like this again. Using the immortal graveyard diagram to communicate is not good, it's easy to be discovered. Siekiru said with a charming smile. Xiao Yun, you seem to be in a good mood. It seems like you have a way to escape. Of course. Sister Kiru, don't worry about me. I can think of a way to get out. Qin Yun said very confidently. I knew you could do it. Yu is very worried about you. This usually fierce and ice-cold woman, her worried appearance is truly lovable. Siekiru chuckled and said. Is that so? Qin Yun also said with a smile. Sister Kiru, aren't you afraid that Sister Yu will find out that you are bad-mouthing her behind her back? Siekiru said with a low laugh. Xiao Yun, I might not be able to go with you to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. The Imperial Race Divine Palace has invited our Guang Han Palace to head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range together. I know that they created a gate of heaven. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. We've been searching for the Heaven Leaping Shuttle for so long just to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. In the end, we didn't even use it. Who said that? The Heaven Leaping Shuttle was very useful. When you come out of the Heavenly Law Altar, you will definitely use the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Siekiru said. That's true. Qin Yun nodded. Xiao Yun, after you come out, if you want to bring Yume along, then contact her. If you don't want to, then head straight to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. We will wait for you over there. Siekiru said with smile. I will decide when the time comes. Qin Yun laughed. You don't want to bring Yume. It's better for this girl to follow you. She is very close to you and also listens to you. What's more, I will bring Yuelan. If Yuelan goes, Yu Shaoling will also go. Siekiru lightly sighed and said. Xiao Yuelan and Yu Shaoling are 2 female hooligans. If they cooperate, it will be very troublesome. With Xiao Yume, it will be terrible. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. In that case, Yume is very good by my side, she is very honest. Xiao Yun, if everything goes smoothly, we can gather 9 Nether Sun Spirits for you in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Siekiru's clear and sweet voice suddenly became grave. Finally gathered? Qin Yun is somewhat amazed. And I will have to go there to be sure. Siekiru said. Sister Kiru, I met a woman who claims to be the reincarnation of 9 Sun Divine Maiden. She is Princess Enyi. Qin Yun told Siekiru about Princess Enyi. It's her. Xiao Yun, she is trustworthy. You two knew each other before and have deep hatred, but you need to help each other. Siekiru's voice suddenly became low. She hastily said. Not good, I have been sensed, let's leave it at that. Siekiru cut off the connection. Qin Yun hastily said. Siekiru, how did I meet that woman? What kind of hatred do we have? Siekiru did not reply, leaving behind Qin Yun, who was filled with curiosity, looking at the immortal graveyard diagram in a daze. He did not expect that he and Princess Enyi knew each other before and even had deep hatred. Yet Siekiru said that he is trustworthy and they need to help each other. Chapter 1836. Big Sister returns. Qin Yun wished he could immediately fly to the Guang Han Palace and ask about the deep enmity between him and Princess Anya. That woman and I know each other? She doesn't seem to know. Is it because her memory hasn't fully recovered? Qin Yun is suddenly somewhat worried because Princess Anya is not someone to be trifled with. She was once the 9-Sun Divine Maiden and has experienced many things. She is definitely a vicious and merciless person. Ling Yuner said with smile. Xiao Yun, don't think so much. Even if she hates you, you are so handsome, she will definitely let go of her hatred. Great beauty Yuner, that woman and I have deep enmity. If she suddenly recovers those memories, I will be in trouble. Qin Yun learned that Princess Anya was once acquainted with him and became very restless. It's fine, no matter what she does, she can't kill you. You must know that she is very dependent on you now. Ling Yuner smiled tenderly and said, She is not stupid. If she kills you, it will not be good for her. Qin Yun nodded and said, That's true. Let's go out first. They are all going to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. I also have to quickly finish this stronger 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation. The 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation he made before was mainly made of Saint-Tier materials. He believed that it would limit the display of Divine Universe Golden Stone. If the main materials were all divine-grade materials, then when he used the Divine Cosmos Goldstone, he would be able to make the Divine Cosmos Goldstone release even stronger Divine Cosmos power. If the Divine Universe power was strong enough, the 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation would release even stronger power. The 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation that can attack and defend is very important to Qin Yun. It can also protect his life when he is in seclusion. It is equivalent to having a second life. The situation in the Cloud Dragon mountain range is very complicated. If he had a powerful 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation to protect himself, he would be much more at ease while walking in the Cloud Dragon mountain range. Qin Yun continued refining the Dragon Heavenly Rune. The 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation can absorb the Divine Universe Golden Stone's divine power. After transforming and releasing it, it can be easily absorbed for cultivation. Now, the 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation is using the Divine Universe Golden Stone's power to refine the Dragon Heavenly Rune. Qin Yun is very much looking forward to the new 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation because this new 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation is completely different from the previous one. The 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin array from before was only for practice. Although it was a very successful 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin array, it was still lacking in many aspects. For example, he hadn't considered the materials used to create the Dragon Heavenly pattern. Therefore, Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor and Long Yuqing, who were familiar with the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin formation, felt that his 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin formation was not very strong. This new 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation will become even stronger when combined with my 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon. At that time, killing a great emperor won't be a problem. Qin Yun said. Of course, he could only fire one shot, because after firing one shot, the barrel would be very hot and would need to cool down for a period of time. If he continued to fight, it was highly likely that it would be damaged. Ling Yuner said, Your 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon's strongest power should be combined with the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin formation and the Divine Universe Golden Rock to fire a star cannonball. Qin Yun said with a smile, That's right. However, in most situations, there is no need to use Divine Universe Golden Stone. At most, the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin formation combined with the star cannonballs will be very powerful. Xiao Yun, it is very difficult to solve the problem of fever. If we can solve it, we will be truly unparalleled. Ling Yuner said with charming smile. It is not that there is no solution. Qin Yun heard Ling Yuner's charming and sweet laughter and realized that she is thinking of some naughty things. There has always been a solution to solve the problem of fever. It requires Snow Goddess Totem. Xian Rujing is Snow Goddess. She also said that she would give her God Position Totem to Qin Yun, but she is not ready yet. Because those Divine Position Totems are inside her body, when they appear, Qin Yun needs to carefully observe them to be able to record them. This process is very hard for Xian Rujing to accept, that is why she said she is not ready yet. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing's relationship is very deep, but they have not taken it a step further. This kind of matter cannot be forced, otherwise it would only make things very unpleasant. Xiao Yun, find Sister Rujing and make her follow you. Ling Yuner said with smile. I miss her very much. This snow goddess is as coquettish as big sister Star God and sister Shuyan. Don't talk about it, I will think of another way. I can find a better ice attribute totem or rune to suppress the fever problem. It is not necessarily snow goddess totem. Qin Yun said. Ling Yuner said with smile. Snow goddess totem is a god-tier ice attribute totem. 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon is a god-tier material, but the fever problem is still not solved. Do you think other ice attribute totems and runes are better than Snow Goddess Totem? Of course not, but it is not necessarily Snow Goddess Totem. Qin Yun is not forcing Xian Rujing. Although he used Dragon Claw Hand on Xian Rujing, he has never had any other thoughts about her. On the contrary, Ling Yuner, Xiao Yuelan and other female hoodlums often have bad thoughts about Xian Rujing. That is truly regretful. Ling Yuner is very disappointed. She let out a long sigh and said, You blockhead. 5 days passed by. The matter of heaven's sacrifice has caused an uproar. The entire Immortal Desolate is crazily discussing this matter these past few days. This is a heaven sacrifice ceremony made by several sun altars and the mysterious heavenly law altar. It is said that Divine Desolate instructed 9 sun sects to do this. And at the same time as the heaven sacrifice ceremony, Qin Yun is also sealed inside. Qin Yun, who fought against the outer heaven domain people and caused the Alliance army to suffer great losses, is now being secretly sealed by a group of people. Many people in Immortal Desolate are feeling indignant because Qin Yun caused the outer heaven domain to suffer great losses. He killed the Alliance army's drilling dogs. This is a vent for the entire Immortal Desolate. In their eyes, Qin Yun is a heroic character, but now he is sealed. The group of people who sealed Qin Yun are from 9 Sun Divine Palace and 9 Sun sects. They all have close relationship with Imperial race. Qin Yun is an Imperial race person, but he is sealed. This is something that many people cannot understand. And some people think that this group of people want to monopolize Qin Yun's divine universe golden stone, as well as the good things on Qin Yun's body. Everyone knows that Qin Yun is a human-shaped treasure trove. He possesses all kinds of treasures that people can only dream of. After returning to the Divine Inscription Mountain, the little black donkey looked at the magic mirror, looked at the calm-down ceremony and sighed. Boss has been sealed to death. Sigh, the heavens do not allow such an awesome person to exist in the 9 Desolate, so they sealed him. Heishu, Bai Zhe, Azure Dragon, Water Heavenly Rune Dragon and Fire Heavenly Rune Dragon all returned to the Divine Inscription Mountain. They did not find any more powerful inscription beasts, but they brought back Old Fox Huang and Xian Tiger King. They are all Qin Yun's friends. Old Fox Huang, that old fox, has become even stronger during this period of time. He has a powerful mental power. Xian Tiger King brought some cute little monkeys with him. They are in charge of scouting the situation and paying attention to their surroundings. The mountain god said, Boss is not here. The opening of the heavenly gate has nothing to do with our Divine Inscription Mountain. Old Mountain, doesn't the Divine Inscription Mountain have a very strong spatial ability? Create a spatial passageway and save Boss. Lu Jian said. No, I can't get close to that place right now. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror said that during this period of time, there are often people inquiring about the situation of the Divine Inscription Mountain on the Magic Mirror platform. It's the group of grass turtles that sealed Boss. Mountain God cursed in low voice. Our Divine Inscription Mountain has been targeted by those guys. The little black donkey is very angry and said, Old Mountain, we should face them head on. Throw caution to the wind and fight them to the death. Let them release boss. Azure Dragon nodded and said, I agree with Xiao Xian's method. He Shu Baizhe also nodded in agreement. The mountain god looked at Xiao Hua and said, Old Xiao, Big Sister and boss are not here. You are also in charge of the inscription gate. If you agree to face them head on, then we will face them head on. Xiao Hua pondered for a moment and shook his head. No. It's not like Big Sister can't come back. She is in closed-door cultivation in the Guanghan Palace. Let's wait for Big Sister. Big Sister's network is also very wide. If we want to deal with those turtles, we also have enough manpower. Who can Big Sister call for help? The little black donkey asked curiously. There are a lot of people. Big Sister knows almost all the friends that boss knows. She can also call them. Xiao Hua said with smile. In short, Big Sister must have a good idea. While they were discussing, Xiao Yuemei suddenly arrived. She directly used a very strong teleportation magic tool to teleport in. That is something that Xiao Hua and others have jointly refined for her. Xiao Yuemei is wearing a black soft armor. Her hair is tied up in a high ponytail. Big Sister, we were just talking about you and you came. Xiao Hua said with smile. What are you talking about? Xiao Yuemei asked with gentle smile. We are talking about how powerful you are and how you can lead us to conquer the world. The little black donkey said with smile. Xiao Xian, your mouth is getting sweeter and sweeter. Xiao Yuemei said with charming smile and stroked the little black donkey's head. Xiao Hua said in grave tone, Big Sister, you should know about the matter of boss being sealed, right? We are discussing whether or not we should face them head on. Azure Dragon, He Shu Baizhe and the others nodded their heads. They all expressed that as long as she gives the order, they will not be afraid at all. They will attack head on and rescue the Inscription Gate's sect master. Mountain God said, Big Sister, you only need to say a word. We are not afraid of death anyways. Xiao Yuemei's heart is filled with heroic spirit. She said with heroic smile, Fellow sect members, you all have this kind of heart. Sect master will be very happy. I thank everyone here. Big Sister, don't say such words. You know our feelings for the Inscription Gate better than us. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror waved his hand and said, Give us an idea, we must save boss. Xiao Yuemei said with smile, Boss can come out by himself. He doesn't need us to save him. Who is my brother? You want to trap me with a mere broken altar. Let me tell you, those broken altars will be destroyed by my brother sooner or later. Chapter 1837. Zhiyang Palace. After Xiao Yuemei came out of seclusion, Xie Qiru told her to wait here for Qin Yun and bring her to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Xiao Yuemei blindly believes in Qin Yun, so she has no doubt that Qin Yun can come out on his own. Yeah. He used a very miraculous method to contact me. In short, he will be able to come out and bring me to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Xiao Yuemei laughed. At that time, we might all be able to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. The little black donkey laughed heartily. Boss is awesome. Those people who sealed him will regret it sooner or later. Let them seal boss, haha. Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror heaved a sigh of relief and smiled. That's not bad, we don't have to face them head-on for now. Xiao Yuemei coldly groaned and said, My brother is a great hero of Immortal Desolate. He beat up Xieyang, repelled the Alliance army and Outer Heaven Domain's enemies. He also suppressed the Sun Spirit race from stirring up trouble. Not long ago, he used his Supreme Inscription technique to defeat the alien dragon race and the Alliance army who humiliated the Immortal Desolate Land. But those bastards sealed him up? As for those pigs, we don't have to face them head-on. We have to attack from behind. Let's set them up in the dark. I agree. Old Fox Huang laughed. Many people seem to have forgotten that boss is the sect master of the Inscription Gate. With the sect leader sealed, the inscription gate has to do something. That's right. Those turtles think that they're invincible just because they made a heaven offering ceremony. They sealed our sect master, we will let them experience the power of inscription gate. Mountain God said. Xiao Yueme said, Old Shan, go pick the sacred mysterious silver crystal fruits and store them in the energy warehouse. Little Black, Little White, go and check on the 9 dragon head cannons. Make sure they can operate stably during the battle. Azure Dragon, Fire Dragon, Water Dragon, you're in charge of releasing your dragon heavenly patterns and absorbing the energy of the Saint Mysterious Silver Crystal into your bodies. Through the dragon heavenly patterns, you'll convert it into stronger dragon rune saint energy and strengthen the dragon head cannon. Now, familiarize yourselves with this process. Little Xian, go check the Black Tortoise formation. This is the defensive formation of our divine inscription mountain. It is also the most important one. At that time, you will be in charge of this grand array. Old Xiao, Little Ding, you are responsible for collecting information about the movements of that group of people. We need to know what they are doing and where they are. Xiao Yueme is after all the big sister. She has a very good understanding of the entire inscription divine mountain. She also knows what kind of preparations the inscription divine mountain needs to make if they want to launch an all-out attack. The others immediately went to prepare to attack. They were also very excited. Big Sis, do you want to call for help? Lu Jian asked. Not at the moment. Those who are not arranged to stay on the divine inscription mountain and help the old mountain pick the fruit. The sacred mysterious silver crystal fruit is energy. When we fight, we will need a large amount of energy. Xiao Yueme said. Old Fox Huang, Mystic Tiger King, and the others also went to help. If Xiao Yueme were to call for help, she would definitely be able to do so. However, she felt that the power of the divine inscription mountain was enough to teach the group of people who plotted to seal Qin Yun a lesson. If he really couldn't win, it wouldn't be too late to call for help. Xiao Yueme is also using her mirror to make teleportation talismans, as well as talismans to suppress soul poison saint insects. These talismans must be sold. Because now only Inscription Gate can make talismans to resist soul poison saint insect. She wants to let everyone in the Immortal Desolate know how powerful Inscription Gate is. In just half a day, Xiao Hua and Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror have news. Within the space inside the Divine Inscription Mountain, on the spacious prairie, Xiao Yueme is sitting on a chair, looking at a very large magic mirror to understand the movement of Immortal Desolate. Xiao Hua said, Big Sis, the nest of those grass turtles is indeed not in the Emperor Race Divine Palace, they have their own territory. I knew that those guys also have their own territory. They are a group of very arrogant people. How can they stay in the Emperor Race Divine Palace for a long time? Xiao Yueme coldly groaned and said, At the beginning there were only 50 of them. But after the heaven offering ceremony opened the heavenly gate, several hundred people rushed over from the outer heaven domain. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said, Where are they? Xiao Yueme asked. They also have a flying island floating in the sky. There is a very large palace on the island. It is called 9 Sun Palace. Reportedly, that 9 Sun Palace came from the outer heaven domain through space travel. Xiao Hua said, 9 Sun Palace? Xiao Yueme laughed sinisterly. That is our target. After we are ready, we will inform Old Mountain of their location. Then we will sneak over and secretly ambush them. Xiao Hua said with mischievous smile. We will continue to understand the situation of 9 Sun Palace. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said with smile. Those 9 Sun Palace fellows feel that the area around the heavenly crater is filled with foul air, so their flying island is far away from the heavenly crater and the Emperor Race Divine Palace. Even if the Emperor Race were to send reinforcements, they would not be able to make it in time. Xiao Hua asked, Big Sis, are we going to act during the day or at night? To ambush them, of course we have to choose a dark and windy night. Xiao Yueme said, "Once we are ready, we will immediately act. It is not a secret that those people are on the Nine Sun Palace on a flying island. Because they need peace and quiet, they don't allow anyone to approach the flying island. If they approach and are discovered by the flying island, they will be attacked. Because of this, many people can only look at the flying island and the Nine Sun Palace from far away." 2 days after Xiao Yueme returned to the divine inscription mountain, a great movement suddenly appeared on the sky above the heavenly law altar. Incomparably powerful heavenly thunder crazily dropped down and ferociously bombarded the heavenly law altar. This matter quickly spread throughout the entire immortal desolate. These days, everyone has been paying close attention to the heavenly law altar, mainly because there is a heavenly gate above the heavenly law altar. The heavenly gate has been opened for a long time, but now, berserk heavenly thunder crazily bombarded the heavenly law altar. Qin Yun refined a dragon heavenly rune inside the heavenly law altar. Moreover, it is a very strong dragon heavenly rune. It absorbed divine cosmos power to refine it. Therefore, it triggered an even stronger heavenly punishment. Fortunately, he is inside the heavenly law altar, so he can avoid the heavenly punishment. Tian Dao Zi inside the heavenly law altar very angrily shouted, "De Zhuang, what did your boss do to provoke the wrath of the heavenly might again? The heavenly punishment outside is very strong, don't you know?" "Really? That's great. Boss is really awesome. He can trigger a very strong heavenly punishment just by hiding inside." Shimen de Zhuang became very happy hearing this. He said with smile, "Master, it seems like Boss is deliberately hiding inside the heavenly law altar to refine some heaven-defying playthings." Ha ha ha! Tian Dao Zi is very unhappy. He controlled the heavenly law altar to move. The heavenly law altar's movement does not affect the heavenly gate. It is just to prevent the heavenly punishment from affecting the heavenly gate and the surrounding altars. Everyone doesn't know what is going on inside the heavenly law altar. However, some people recalled that when Qin Yun's heaven leaping shuttle was in the 10,000 Snake Mountain range, it triggered a very strong heavenly punishment and killed many outer heaven domain people. Therefore, some people speculated that Qin Yun is deliberately triggering the heavenly punishment to escape from the heavenly punishment. After hearing this news, Xiao Yueme realized that Qin Yun is staying inside the heavenly law altar to refine some heaven-defying playthings to avoid the heavenly punishment. The heavenly punishment actually lasted for an entire day. The heavenly law altar can't be destroyed by the might of the heavenly punishment, so it is completely fine. Only Tian Dao Zi's soul is jumping up and down anxiously inside the heavenly law altar because he can't bear the fact that the person triggering the heavenly punishment is hiding inside the heavenly law altar. Night time, the moon in the sky is very big and very round. After the moon changed, a very big barrier appeared. The barrier turned into a very big virtual image of the moon and protected the real moon. Therefore, after night time, the immortal desolate's heaven and earth became very bright. Adding the stars and nebulas in the night sky, the clear night sky is very bright. The divine inscription mountain became very small. It became as big as a small hill. It turned into a stone turtle and slowly arrived below a flying island. "Big sister, the night is very bright. Is it convenient to attack?" Old Shan said. "Didn't you say that the night is dark and the wind is strong?" "Relax, it won't be a problem," Xiao Yueme said with smile. "Prepare to store power. We will use the strongest power to fire 3 cannon shots at the Sky Island and then decisively leave." Xiao Hua said, "Big sister, there is no barrier on the flying island and no one is looking around. I think we can start now." Xiao Yueme sat on a chair and yelled, "Old Shan, is the energy ready?" Mountain God said with smile, "Yes." Xiao Yueme yelled again, "Xiao Xian, is the Black Tortoise Great Formation ready? We need to defend at any time." Little Black Donkey yelled, It is ready, the black tortoise great formation is connected to me, it can be activated at any time. Its defense is absolutely formidable. In the immortal desolate, its defense is unparalleled. Alright, water dragon ready. Fire. Xiao Yuemei yelled. The divine inscription mountain suddenly became bigger, an incomparably huge dragon head cannon appeared on the turtle's back. It is a dragon head cannon controlled by a water dragon. The dragon head cannon shot out a very strong artillery shell. It looks like liquid and shot towards the flying island from below. There was a loud bang. The energy-transformed artillery shell pierced through the entire flying island and exploded a large amount of water in the sky. The water completely enveloped the flying island. Azure Dragon, Thunder and Lightning, attack! Xiao Yuemei very excitedly yelled. Azure Dragon's artillery shell is filled with violent thunder and lightning. It is formed from a large amount of sacred Xian silver crystals. Suddenly the heaven and earth trembled with violent thunder and lightning. It seems like the earth and sky are about to be torn apart. Another large hole appeared on the flying island. The violent thunder and lightning enveloped the entire flying island. Many old men can be heard furiously shouting. The Nine Sun Palace on the flying island has also been severely damaged. It must be said that the Nine Sun Palace people still have some strength. Very soon they dispersed the violent thunder and lightning and shook off the water. Huolong, fire the last one! Xiao Yuemei yelled. Huolong controlled his dragon head cannon to fire. It shot towards the sky from below and blasted through the flying island, creating a third large hole. Moreover, flames burst out. The sea of flames invaded the tattered Nine Sun Palace in a split second. Chapter 1838. Weapon formation. The flying island where the Nine Yang Palace is located is not small. At this moment there are 3 large holes in it. Furthermore, the Nine Yang Palace on the flying island has also been burned by the fire. More than half of the buildings are severely damaged. Many people are seriously injured and they are screaming, causing the entire Nine Yang Palace to wail in pain. Many of the elders are cursing angrily scolding the enemy who sneak attack them. The Nine Yang Palace is the place where the Nine Yang sects and the group of people from the Nine Yang Divine Palace are gathered. It can be considered a very powerful force in the immortal desolate. Now, the Nine Yang Palace has been smashed into smithereens. This is a great humiliation to them. Although no one died, many were injured. Most importantly, it was obvious that they were deliberately provoking them. One must know that the Nine Yang Palace is the power that opened the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range's heavenly gate. In the immortal desolate, many great powers have to give them face. Even the Dark Royal Family and the alien dragon race from the Outer Heaven Domain and the Alliance Army have to make some exchanges with the Nine Yang Palace and listen to their arrangements in order to enter the heavenly gate. And now, the Nine Yang Palace has been smashed into smithereens. Such a provocation caused the entire immortal desolate to bustle with noise and excitement. Many people used the magic mirror to learn more about the situation. There are many people near the Nine Yang Palace, so when they saw this, they immediately transmitted the situation to the magic mirror. The powerful immortal emperors of the Nine Yang Palace are not to be trifled with. After their Nine Yang Palace was attacked, they quickly determined the location of the Divine Inscription Mountain. The Divine Inscription Mountain is in the middle of a very strong defense. Just as the little black donkey activated the black tortoise formation, several powerful immortal emperor powers came crashing down. In the darkness of the night, the Divine Inscription Mountain that is crawling on the ground was struck by several powerful immortal emperor powers. All kinds of explosions sounded out continuously. The ground emitted multicolored light, causing the surroundings to emit a dazzling light. Which scoundrel dares to sneak attack my Nine Yang Palace? An old man angrily rebuked. Nine Yang Palace's grass turtles, listen carefully. You sealed our sect master, we will settle this debt with you. This is just the foreplay. Xiao Yumei's clear and cold voice is rather imposing, it spread in all directions. Inscription Gate. The onlookers in the distance were shocked. No one is unfamiliar with the Inscription Gate because it is the sect founded by Qin Yun. It is a very powerful sect that once defeated Xie Yang. The Divine Inscription Mountain where the Inscription Gate is located is a strange mountain that can devour all kinds of things. Previously, it often ran amok in the Immortal Desolate, devouring everything. Now that Qin Yun was sealed, it was indeed normal for the disciples of the Inscription Gate to counterattack the Nine Yang Palace. However, no one expected that even without Qin Yun, the Inscription Gate would still be so terrifying. It was able to cause the Nine Yang Palace to suffer such heavy losses. The people from the Nine Yang Palace naturally knew of this Inscription Gate. The Inscription Gate is located in the Divine Inscription Mountain. The Inscription Gate and the Divine Inscription Mountain are both very mysterious existences. The people of the Immortal Desolate only know that it is a sect created by Qin Yun. Moreover, the Divine Inscription Mountain was extremely powerful. It had all kinds of powerful offensive and defensive formations. Previously, it had summoned a large number of stars and almost overturned the Immortal Emperor City. After Qin Yun was sealed, the attack launched by the Inscription Gate on the Nine Yang Palace was extremely terrifying. Inscription Gate, just wait to be annihilated, an old man roared. Suddenly, intense spatial fluctuations came from all around the sky. Huge warships suddenly appeared one after another. They were all warships from the alien dragon race and the Alliance army. They had also found out through the magic mirror that Qin Yun's Divine Inscription Mountain was here, so they had all rushed over. The Divine Inscription Mountain had all kinds of powerful and rare runes, so they all wanted to break through this kind of Divine Inscription Mountain and enter the Inscription Gate to see what kind of runes were inside. The defense is good, let's go, the little black donkey said. The black tortoise formation of the Divine Inscription Mountain frantically absorbed the energy of the sacred mysterious silver crystal, producing a very strong defensive shield. The powerful immortal emperors of the Nine Yang Palace were unable to break through the defensive shield. In this way, the Divine Inscription Mountain could travel through space with peace of mind. Let's go. The mountain god laughed. The Divine Inscription Mountain suddenly shrank and began to travel through space. In the blink of an eye, the Divine Inscription Mountain disappeared. Damn it, this Ghost Mountain's spatial teleportation ability is very strong, just like that damned heaven-leaping shuttle. The people from the Alliance army cursed in a low voice. Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle also appeared and disappeared like a ghost. The Divine Inscription Mountain swallowed a large amount of instant space iron, so it possessed this kind of ability. This was what gave those great powers the biggest headache, because if they used a sneak attack, it would be impossible to guard against. The Nine Yang Palace was too careless and overconfident. They thought that if they opened the gate of heaven, the various powers in the Immortal Desolate would respect them and not attack them. Therefore, they did not carry out any defense. They never expected that Qin Yun's Inscription Gate would suddenly appear and mess with them from behind, causing them to lose all face. Only Qin Yun's friends knew that the Inscription Gate was extremely terrifying. Even though Qin Yun was sealed, the Divine Inscription Mountain was still a powerful existence that dominated an area. Previously, the Divine Inscription Mountain devoured the divine mountains of those evil powers, causing those evil powers to complain to the heavens. If the Nine Yang Palace was targeted by the Inscription Gate, if their defense was not enough, they would be killed by the Inscription Gate sooner or later. The flying island was pierced through and there were 3 large holes. At night, the Nine Yang Palace called for many helpers. They mainly came from the Imperial and Dark Royal races. Even the Outer Heaven Domain's Alliance army and the Strange Dragon race escorted the flying island to the Gate of Heaven. Below the Gate of Heaven, there are several sun altars. If the flying island flew over, they would have to rely on the protection of the sun altars. This way they would have sufficient defense. As for the heavenly law altar, it is also running around everywhere. Many people can only follow the heavenly law altar from afar because Qin Yun, who is inside the heavenly law altar, can trigger a very terrifying heavenly punishment. If they approach the heavenly law altar, it is very likely that they will be sensed by the heavenly punishment. Qin Yun, who is inside the heavenly law altar, seems to be retaliating. And the inscription gate's attack on the Nine-Yang Palace is clearly revenge. This immediately caused many people to be deeply worried, especially those big powers who are afraid of Qin Yun. They are afraid that Qin Yun will also go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Qin Yun has many methods. He is a very strong inscription master and has mastered many kinds of treasures. If he were to enter the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, there is an extremely high chance that the good things inside will be obtained by him. Therefore, sealing Qin Yun is something that many big powers agree with. And Qin Yun's friends all know that Qin Yun will definitely be able to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, so there is no need to worry. In the sky above the Nine-Yang Palace, a large group of people from the Nine-Yang Palace are floating. All of their faces are filled with anger as they look down at the Nine-Yang Palace that has been burnt to ruins. It would be best if we quickly head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range and close the gate of heaven. The person who spoke is the immortal desolate great emperor. That's right, if Qin Yun really runs out or if the inscription gate causes trouble, it will be detrimental to us. The devil immortal great emperor said, as long as we head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range and temporarily close the gate of heaven, Qin Yun and the inscription gate won't be able to do anything to us. Alright, 3 days later, gather the people from the various sects and families and head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range together. The old man from the Nine-Yang Palace said. The Nine-Yang Palace did not let people pass through the gate of heaven to head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range for free. They received many benefits, mainly sun god crystals. During this period of time, the various major powers found many sun god crystals in the immortal desolate and they have now given them to the Nine-Yang Palace. 3 days passed and the few sun altars suddenly flew into the gate of heaven in the sky. The people selected by the various major powers all entered the sun altars and headed to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range together. Xiao Yuemei looked at the magic mirror and said somewhat unhappily, "Wait for brother to come out, we can also go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range." Qin Yun is inside the heavenly law altar, quickly refining the dragon heavenly rune. He is familiar with using the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation and the divine universe golden stone to refine the dragon heavenly rune. The speed is becoming faster and faster. Therefore, during this period of time, the heavenly law altar has been continuously suffering from heavenly punishment and all kinds of berserk heavenly thunder attack. Inside the heavenly law altar, Tian Dao Zi's soul is extremely angry and constantly wailed in grief. As for Shiman Dazhuang, he made Pippi Pig continuously fart, making Tian Dao Zi feel even more uncomfortable. Qin Yun doesn't know what is going on outside. He is somewhat worried because the immortal graveyard of the Cloud Dragon Mountain range is very important to him. Xiao Yun, don't worry. With Sister Kiru and the others, as well as your father and foster father, there won't be any problems. Ling Yun said. That's true, I need to calm down and make an even stronger 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. Qin Yun took a deep breath and said with nod. An even stronger 9-dragon heavenly origin formation will allow him to be even more stable and stronger in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. It took more than a month to refine the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. Although he used the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation and divine universe golden stone to refine the 9-dragon heavenly rune this time, the speed is not much different from before. It will take about a month to finish. Qin Yun said, I wonder if they went to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range or not. The The Nine-Yang Palace has been at the Cloud Dragon mountain range for more than 20 days. If Qin Yun knew, he would definitely be even more anxious. This time he is not making formation steel. Great formations include flag formation, tablet formation, beast skin formation, star formation, and so on. And the strongest formation is the weapon formation. Qin Yun now plans to refine 9 divine sabers. Not only can he set up the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation, he can also fuse them into a very strong weapon. I will also add the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade. Qin Yun took out the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade and said, "This Nether Spirit Sacred Blade is also a very strong saber. If I add the dragon heavenly rune and carve the dragon totem, it will become even stronger." Princess Anya helped a lot because her heavenly flame divine fan can make the flame even stronger, so it can smelt divine tier materials even faster and better. Qin Yun will now burn the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade red, add some divine tier materials and awaken the 9 Sun Divine Hammer to forge it. In this way, he very quickly finished refining a saber. And next, he still needs to make 8 more. Princess Anya can see that the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation Qin Yun is making this time is in the form of a weapon formation. She said, "Qin Yun, next time you help me make the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation, can you make it into 9 swords?" "Of course," Qin Yun said with smile. "Let's talk about it after I make the weapon formation. I don't know how powerful it is." Chapter 1839. Double 9 Dragons. Princess Anya originally thought that the 9 Dragons heavenly origin formation made by the formation steel was powerful enough. When Qin Yun was the masked man, the 9 Dragons heavenly origin formation had shocked many people. But now that she had seen the 9 Dragons heaven origin formation in the form of a weapon formation, she was inspired to create a 9 Dragons heaven origin formation in the form of a sword formation. It should be very strong, but as for the specifics, we will only know after it is completed. Qin Yun said. "Qin Yun, don't worry. As long as you help me make a 9 Dragons heavenly origin formation, the reward I will give you will not be worse than the Dragon Clan," Princess Anya said. She was worried that Qin Yun would create a 9 Dragons heaven origin formation to fool her, so she hoped that Qin Yun would be more serious and meticulous when creating the 9 Dragons heaven origin formation for her. Because the 9 Dragon heavenly origin formation Qin Yun gave to the dragon race is not the best, it can only be considered as Qin Yun's practice. Of course, even if Qin Yun casually made a 9 Dragon heavenly origin formation, it would still be very strong and only he can make it. Qin Yun began forging the second saber and said with a smile, "I know. Princess, you are quite kind to me. But you must remember what you promised me. I promised to help you cultivate the heart of the sun, and I promised you a condition." "I remember all of that," Princess Anya said. "If you are not in a hurry to go to the Cloud Dragon mountain range, I can start to help you cultivate the powerful heart of the sun now." "Yeah, I am in a hurry to complete the 9 Dragon heavenly origin formation, then leave the Heavenly Law altar and go to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. I really don't have much time." Qin Yun sighed. "Don't worry, if I go to the Cloud Dragon mountain range, my memories will be completely restored and I can help you cultivate the sun's core. That will definitely be better," Princess Dark Knight said. "I'm just afraid that you'll have other things to do when the time comes, and then you'll forget about these things." Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. He was worried that Princess Anya would fight with him after she fully recovered her memory. Siekiru had said before that he and Princess Anya had a deep hatred. As for what was going on, Qin Yun had yet to figure it out. However, he was very worried. "Humph, don't think of me as someone who goes back on his word," Princess Anya said. "Although I still owe you, as long as I am alive, I will definitely pay you back." Princess Anya could see that Qin Yun did not trust her very much. He was always worried that she would stand him up. Qin Yun forged the saber and put it in the furnace to burn. He let Princess Dark Night fan the fire. Without the heavenly fire divine fan to strengthen the flame, Qin Yun's progress would definitely be several times slower. Looking at Princess Anya's help, Qin Yun will certainly help her make a 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. However, it won't be possible in the near future. Moreover, he doesn't have enough Gemini heavenly rune in his hands. Zi Qingqing, Shui Tianzi and Long Tianji have already returned to the 9-sun divine soul. Shimin Qinglian originally did not want to go, but it was too boring outside, so she could only go in. After all, to a female hoodlum like her, being able to be together with a few beautiful women was a very good enjoyment. Shimin Dezhuang was full of energy. He was happily cursing Tian Daozi outside. When Tian Daozi sensed that there were no more heavenly punishment, he felt a lot more at ease. He was quite worried that the heavenly altar would be destroyed by the heavenly punishment, because the heavenly punishment attracted by Qin Yun is getting stronger and stronger. Qin Yun doesn't know how strong the heavenly punishment is inside the heavenly law altar. If he knew, he would have discovered that every time he refines a dragon heavenly rune, the heavenly punishment's power would increase by a large margin. In other words, the next time he refines a dragon heavenly rune, the heavenly punishment will become even stronger. Therefore, Tian Daozi is very worried that the heavenly law altar won't be able to withstand the heavenly punishment. Qin Yun spent nearly a month to finally refine 9 formation sabers that can be big or small. These sabers look very simple, the blade is very big, the back of the saber is very thick and there is a dragon head at the end of the hilt. The hilt of the saber looks like it is coiled up by a beautiful golden dragon. As the saber becomes bigger, the dragon head also becomes bigger and more powerful. Qin Yun controlled the 9 sabers to slowly revolve around him, completely surrounding him. There is a dragon heavenly rune inside each saber and dragon totem is carved on the surface of the saber. 9 dragon heavenly rune and 9 dragon totem, as well as a large number of star runes converged into a formidable 9 dragon heavenly origin formation. This 9 dragon heavenly origin formation is also the most ideal one in Qin Yun's heart. Very good. Princess Anya is incomparably envious. She very much wants to have her own 9 dragon heavenly origin formation. What do you want your sword to look like? Qin Yun said with smile. You can think about the shape now. The sword blade is a bit big, I prefer heavy swords. Princess Anya has already thought about it, she somewhat excitedly said. The hilt of the sword will be the same as your saber hilt, the blade will have a dragon totem carved on it. Qin Yun said, inside these sabers there is a very large storage space. I used the previous 9 heavenly steels to store sacred mysterious silver crystals. And these sabers, I will put some stars inside. Good stars can be used as energy source. He had taken many good stars from the Grand Star Formation. Of course, those stars are not good enough. In his eyes, the best stars are the energy sources inside the Alliance Army's largest battleship. He doesn't have many of these energy sources, only 2. Can it be replaced with Sun Divine Crystal? Princess Anya said. The 9 dragon heavenly origin formation can allow you to quickly absorb the energy of the Divine Universe Golden Stone. It can also allow people to quickly absorb the divine power inside the Sun Divine Crystal. Qin Yun nodded and said, if there are enough Sun Divine Crystals, it is indeed possible. Although I have more than 10, I am reluctant to use them. He obtained a lot of stars before, so he planned to use them up first. We have been sealed inside the heavenly law altar for 2 months. Princess Anya looked around and said, can you really get out? Shimin Dezhuang is still outside. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle, and brought Shimin Dezhuang and Pippi inside. Boss, I still haven't scolded enough. Shimin Dezhuang curled his lips and said, Quickly let me out, I want to curse Master's soul to death. Qin Yun said with smile. All right, you continue to stay in the Heavenly Law altar, I will go out first. Pippi Pig, are you coming with me? Follow, hurry up and go. Pippi Pig shouted excitedly. Haha. Boss, are we finally going to leave? Shimen Dezhuang laughed in high spirits and said, Then let's hurry up and leave. Speaking of which, if we go out, Master will be so angry that his soul will fly away and scatter. Tiandaozi thinks that he can seal Princess Anya because in his eyes, these two are great enemies of the heavenly Tao. If Qin Yun and Princess Anya go out, Tiandaozi won't even be able to vomit blood. Qin Yun took out a box. The box is placed on the ground because it is too heavy. 9 dazzling large sabers suddenly appeared inside the control room. These dragon rune heavenly sabers have now become very big, they are all 2 to 3 meters tall. The scabbard was made from the eggshell of the dragon egg, and the blade holder on which the sword was placed was also made from the materials of the dragon egg. In this way, when he used the Divine Universe Golden Rock, he wouldn't release its energy wave. I don't know if this method will work. I hope so. Qin Yun plans to use the power of Divine Universe Golden Stone to activate the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. The reason why they were sealed inside the Heavenly Law altar is mainly because the Heavenly Law altar has a very strong space barrier. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle can shuttle back and forth between many powerful spaces. In theory, no space barrier can seal it. The reason why the Heaven Leaping Shuttle cannot shuttle back and forth is because its energy is not strong enough. Princess Anya immediately became excited because according to her memory, there is no record of Double Nine Dragon Heavenly Origin formation operating. Chapter 1840. Hunting Warship. Although the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origins array formed by the Dragon Pattern Divine Steel was the first 9 Dragons Heavenly Origins array that Qin Yun had created, it was equally powerful. It could similarly absorb and transform the powers of the Divine Universe Goldstones. The 9 Dragon marking Heavenly Blades were on the inside, while the 9 Dragon marking Heavenly Steels were on the outside, forming the Double 9 Dragons Heaven Origin formation. In the control room, the Divine Universe Goldstone began to frantically spin. Every time it spun, there would be a burst of 9-colored light. The 9-colored flashes surged out like liquid mist, one wave after another, extremely violent. If not for the twin 9 Dragon Heavenly Origin formation absorbing the energy, they would have been killed by the violent divine cosmos power. Qin Yun had previously tried to open the box and directly faced the power of the divine cosmos. His eyes were nearly blinded and his body was burned by the energy, making him feel extremely uncomfortable. Only through the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin formation could the power of the divine universe be tempered. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle once again released a powerful spatial energy, condensing into a 9-colored beam of light that shot forward, tearing apart space once more. Again? This kind of energy has already surpassed the limit of immortal desolate. No, even the limit of sacred desolate is only this much. This is a very powerful divine power. Tian Dao Zi shouted in shock. He wanted to control the Heavenly Law altar to suppress the crack. The divine power released by the Heavenly Origin Double 9 Dragons formation was incomparably powerful. Just as Tian Daozi had said, this had already surpassed the limits of the sacred desolate. Not good, the dragon rune Heavenly Steel can't hold on any longer. Qin Yun can sense that the 9 Dragon Heavenly Steel has reached its limit. The benefits of God-level materials could be seen here. The Dragon Stripe Heavenly Saber was forged with divine-grade materials, so it was more than enough to handle it. The Dragon Mark Heavenly Steel, which was made of saint-grade materials, was about to collapse. The spatial crack was getting bigger and bigger. Let's go. When Qin Yun saw that the rift was large and stable enough, he immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to charge in. Whoosh! In the blink of an eye, the sky-leaping shuttle charged into the spatial crack and directly left the heavens path altar. Within the heavenly law altar, Tian Daozi's furious curses echoed in the air. Aha, we are out! Shimen Dezhuang laughed heartily. From the main control room they could see the three suns in the sky. Qin Yun took out the magic mirror and sensed the location of the divine inscription mountain. Then, he controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to travel through space. In the blink of an eye, the heaven-leaping shuttle arrived in the sky above the divine inscription mountain and entered it. Xiao Yuemei and Long Yuqing are roasting dragon meat. Little Black Donkey and others are helping them put ingredients on the side. And the little friends of the inscription gate are leisurely roasting dragon meat. The heavenly leaping shuttle suddenly appeared in the space at the top of the divine mountain. Boss is back. The little black donkey laughed heartily. Big brother, big brother! Xiao Yuemei also excitedly shouted. Big brother Yun! Long Yuqing was wearing a mask, but the divine throne totem on her face still did not fade. The people in the heaven-leaping shuttle were also teleported outside. Princess Anya, Shimen Dezhuang, Shimen Qinglian, and Qin Yun appeared on the lawn. A group of people went over and surrounded them. Qin Yun quickly understood what had happened in the past 2 months. When he learned that the Divine Mountain had attacked the Nine-Yang Palace, Qin Yun immediately praised them with a smile. Brother, they've been going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range for almost 2 months. Xiao Yuemei shook Qin Yun's hand and said coquettishly, It's so infuriating. Those guys actually sealed you and prevented you from stealing their things. Princess Anya said, It's fine. Even if they go for 2 years, it's useless. They only spent 2 months to figure out the situation there. Qin Yun knew that the key to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range was the mysterious Immortal Graveyard Diagram. The Immortal Graveyard Diagram has 4 parts. Qin Yun has 1 part of it. The other 3 parts are in the hands of Xie Qiru, Qi Meilian, and Xiao Yuelan. Only by obtaining this complete map would they be able to enter the most mysterious Immortal Graveyard. Otherwise, if they went to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, they would only be able to fish out some things from the other tombs. They would not be able to find the truly important tombs. Qin Yun said, Old Xiao, quickly find out how many battleships from the Outer Heaven Realm are in the Immortal Desolate. It was impossible for all the battleships from the Outer Heaven Realm to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Especially inside the Alliance Army's battleships, there were star energy sources that he needed. Those stars were all excellent energy sources. The Alliance Army has 20 large battleships and 30 small ones. They are near the Heavenly Law Altar, Xiao Hua said. Although the big shots of the Immortal Desolate and the Outer Heaven Realm have gone to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, many of them are keeping an eye on the Heavenly Law Altar. They are worried that you will run out. Qin Yun laughed mischievously. Those guys from the Outer Heaven Realm might take this opportunity to cause trouble in the Immortal Desolate. Let's exterminate those guys from the Outer Heaven Realm before leaving. Alright. Xiao Yuemei said with smile. We'll leave after eating the dragon meat. Qin Yun took out the devil mirror and contacted Yu Yu. He knows that Yu Yu is still in the Guanghan Palace. Sister Yu Yu, I'm out. I'm preparing to attack the battleships near the Heavenly Law Altar. Are you interested in attacking? Qin Yun asked. I'll go find you immediately. Yu Yu said. Bing Xing will stay in the Guanghan Palace to guard. I'll go alone. Yu Yu is very happy to know that Qin Yun has come out. Furthermore, she is very warlike. Knowing that they are about to attack the Alliance Army's battleships, she became even more excited. Yu Yu arrived very quickly. Everyone ate the dragon meat together and discussed how to attack the battleship. Qin Yun also expressed that he needs the energy source inside the battleship. That is also his main goal. The Nine Sun Palace and Xieyang have followed the Heavenly Gate to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. I heard that there are 2 Xieyangs at the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Xiaohua said. The Sun Altar is also at the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Yu Yu said, if you go there, you must be careful of those altars. Qin Yun drank a bowl of fruit juice made by Xiao Yingying and said with smile, these damned altars sealed me, I'll tear them all down. Who cares if they are related to the Emperor race or not? Xiao Yun, do you want to bring the Divine Inscription Mountain over? Yu Yu asked. And Qin Yun nodded. If the Divine Inscription Mountain goes over, will the Devil Mirror lose its effect? Little Black Donkey said. It won't. Nether Sect also has a Devil Mirror Formation Foundation. Nether Sect's Heavenly City's defense is very strong. It will be very difficult to flatten it. Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor said. Yu Yu wants to stay in the Guang Han Palace, she can't go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. She also warned Qin Yun and others to pay attention to those evil forces. After eating and drinking, they discussed how to attack. Before leaving, they will get rid of the Alliance Army's battleships. This will make the Immortal Desolate even more peaceful. Near the Heavenly Law Altar, dozens of battleships are flying here and there. In order to deal with these battleships, Yu Yu even contacted the Guang Han Palace. Her Guang Han Palace controls the moon at night and cooperates with the Star Great Formation deployed near the moon to lock down all the battleships near the Heavenly Law Altar from the sky and restrict them from traveling through space. It must be known that the Guang Han Palace has the Star God Altar and also the Star Fairy Princess Yu Shutian. Therefore, the Guang Han Palace has a lot of star-related formation knowledge. With the moon as the center, they set up many stars and set up a Star Great Formation. This Star Great Formation was set up by the Star God in the Divine Desolate with the help of the Star God Altar. It is a very powerful Tao Evolution Star Great Formation. At night, the Divine Inscription Mountain turned into a very large stone lion and stealthily arrived at a dense forest near the Heavenly Law Altar. Qin Yun said, Old Shan, control the Divine Inscription Mountain to teleport and find the best angle to aim at those battleships. The others are in charge of using the 9 dragon head cannons to quickly blast away the bow and stern of the battleships, leaving only the middle position. The middle position is where the energy source is located. The mountain god and the others nodded. Sister Yu Yu, Princess, Old Xiao, the 4 of us will go out and collect the energy source. If someone besieges us, if the other side has few people, you will run out and kill them. If there are many people, we will run into the Divine Inscription Mountain and hide. You can then open fire at them. Qin Yun said again. Dozens of battleships, 4 people going out to collect the energy source is enough. After all, the 4 of them are relatively powerful. The others will stay in the Divine Inscription Mountain and be responsible for controlling the dragon head cannons, defending and attracting the Alliance Army's attack. This way, Qin Yun and the others can quietly take away the energy source. After discussing, everyone took their positions. Yu Yu said, Bing Xing and Ling Long are cooperating with us in the Guang Han Palace. They will lock down those battleships and try their best not to let them leave. Hee, those powerful fellows have all gone to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. We are invincible in the Immortal Desolate, the mountain god said with a smile. In the quiet night, those battleships slowly circled around the Heavenly Law Altar. They are only responsible for patrolling. If there is any movement from the Heavenly Law Altar, they will take action. Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle ran out long ago. Tian Daozi, who is inside the altar, is unable to contact the outside. Therefore, no one knows that Qin Yun has come out. Suddenly, a burst of rumbling sound broke the silence of the night. The bow and stern of the battleships in the sky were suddenly hit. Qin Yun left the 9 dragon Heavenly Origin Formation in the Divine Inscription Mountain, so the 9 dragon head cannons are extremely powerful. Just 2 cannons can directly destroy the bow and stern of the ship, leaving only the middle section. Qin Yun, Yu Yu, Princess Anya and Xiao Hua quickly rushed into the middle section and used special storage magic tools to take away the energy source. Then, they quickly moved to the next ship. The sound of cannons is unceasing, the sky is echoing all around. Even from far away, one could still hear the frightening sound of the explosion. The battleships in the sky are like headless flies, flying around in panic to dodge. However, as they are flying around, they suddenly became very slow. That is the Guanghan Palace using its power, releasing a powerful formation power, making it difficult for the battleships to move. Qin Yun and the others only took away the star energy inside the battleships and killed the Alliance Army people who came to stop them. The Alliance Army people originally thought that since the big shots of the major powers have gone to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, they would be able to act arrogantly in the Immortal Desolate. Chapter 1841. Return to Cloud Dragon. Qin Yun and company had collected quite a number of star energy sources, enough to last them for a period of time. The warship of the Alliance Army was destroyed, which was also witnessed by many people. Overnight, the news that the Alliance Army warships were completely annihilated spread violently on the magic mirror. Surprisingly, it was the inscription gate that had destroyed the Alliance Army's warship. Previously, the inscription gate had attacked the Ninyang Palace. Now they had completely destroyed the Alliance Army's warship. This kind of strength was so powerful that it was terrifying. There were many images circulating on the demonic mirror. There are Inscription Divine Mountain attacking those warships. There are also warships counterattacking Inscription Divine Mountain. The defense of the Divine Inscription Mountain is very strong. The attack of the warship is simply unable to break the defensive barrier of the Divine Inscription Mountain. One had to know that the Black Tortoise formation of the Divine Mountain was activated through the Nine Dragons' Heavenly Origin formation. With the Nine Dragons' Heavenly Origin formation inside the Divine Inscription Mountain, it could greatly increase the overall strength of the Divine Inscription Mountain. Most of the big shots of the various factions had gone to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. They had been there for almost 2 months. During this period of time, the Alliance Army of the Outer Heaven Domain was indeed quite arrogant in the Immortal Desolate. Now that they have been annihilated by the Inscription Gate, it is very satisfying. Immortal Desolate's people don't know that Qin Yun has already come out from the Heavenly Law Altar and that he is the one leading the battle. Inside the Divine Inscription Mountain, Qin Yun received the storage magic tools from Xiao Hua, Yu Yu and Princess Anya. They all contain the star energy sources. The good stars that these fellows from the outer realm have found over the years have all fallen into your hands, Princess Dark Knight said. She naturally knew what those star energy sources meant. In the starry sky there were countless stars, but there were very few stars that could be used as energy sources. It wasn't easy to find them either. Those from the outer heaven domains often traveled the starry sky to find good stars that could be used as energy sources. Although there were a lot of warships, the energy source inside was something that they had spent many years to find. Now, Qin Yun had obtained dozens of them. When are you going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range? Yu Yu asked. Immediately, Qin Yun said with a smile. Sister Yu Yu, are you really not going? Yu Yu lightly snorted and said, I want to go, but the Guanghan Palace needs someone to guard it. Sis Xiaro wants me to stay, so I can only listen to her. I'm going back. Be careful in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Qin Yun teleported Yu Yu out and told her to return to Guanghan Palace. Boss, how do we get to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range? Do you really plan on taking the entire Divine Rune Mountain? Mountain God asked. The Inscription Divine Mountain is very strong. If we go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, we can mess with those fellows. Qin Yun chuckled and said, Therefore, we have to go to the Inscription Divine Mountain. Princess Dark Knight looked around and said, The divine inscription mountain can shrink and be stuffed into the warehouse of the heaven leaping shuttle, right? Qin Yun nodded and said, of course. As long as the heaven leaping shuttle can reach the Cloud Dragon mountain range, we can reach the divine inscription mountain range. Then let's go now. Shiman Dezhuang said, the elders of my Shiman family have all gone to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. This group of heartless fellows, I previously asked them to come and save me, but none of them came. In the end, they just ignored me. Boss is still the best. Giving eldest cousin sister and Qing Lian to you is not a loss at all. Shiman Qinglian glared at him and cursed in a low voice. Damn Dezhuang, what right do you have to give me away? Seeing that Shiman Qinglian is about to flip out, Shiman Dezhuang used Pippi Pigs but to face her. Big brother, after we go to the Cloud Dragon mountain range, should we immediately find our people? Xiao Yuemei said. Nether Sect, Guanghan Palace, Immortal Desolate Dragon Race and Immortal Desolate Holy Palace have a good relationship with us. They all sent people to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. Immortal Desolate Sacred Master, this fool also went? Qin Yun asked. Indeed. Long Yuqing nodded and said, I was with my mother in the Immortal Desolate Holy Palace. Originally, I wanted to go with them but that damned head said I was too weak and didn't let me go. I'm so angry. Qin Yun said with smile. Immortal Desolate Sacred Master, this guy is really something. Don't worry, I will take you there. When we get to the Cloud Dragon mountain range, we will use the Divine Inscription Mountain as a teleportation point. If we encounter any danger, we can teleport back and we will be very safe. Xiao Yuemei charmingly smiled and said to the little black donkey, Xiao Xian, you, great god Xian Wu, must stay in the Divine Inscription Mountain. Only you can make the Xian Wu Great Formation operate the best. As long as I have something to eat, I can be sealed here, the little black donkey said with smile. Qin Yun and Princess Anya flew outside and took out the heaven leaping shuttle. Everyone else is inside the Divine Inscription Mountain. After the Divine Inscription Mountain became small, Qin Yun teleported it to the warehouse of the heaven leaping shuttle. Qin Yun sat in the control room and took out the 9 dragon rune heavenly sabers. Princess Anya said, You plan to let the heaven-leaping shuttle absorb the energy of the Divine Universe Golden Stone and travel through space? I don't think there is a need to use the Divine Universe Golden Stone. Just use the energy of the stars. The energy of those stars are all sacred power level. Qin Yun laughed. He placed 2 star energy sources inside each dragon rune heavenly saber. Princess Anya sighed and said, One of these stars can allow a battleship to travel through space across the heaven domain. It is also the energy source for the battleship to attack and defend. You place 2 in one saber, this is incredible. Wait until you have the 9 dragon heavenly origin formation, I will give you some stars. Qin Yun said with smile. I will try my best to use them sparingly. Don't worry, I have the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation. I can solve the problem of the energy source by myself. Princess Anya was secretly excited when she thought that she could have the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation. Qin Yun controlled the 9 dragon heavenly origin formation to circulate. The 9 dragon rune heavenly sabers transformed the star energy source and released 9 colored light. Although the energy fluctuations weren't as strong as those from the Divine Universe Goldstones, they were still very terrifying. Qin Yun felt that if he used the double 9 dragon heavenly origin array to absorb the star energy sources, he would be able to leave the heavenly Tao altar even without the Divine Universe Goldstone. I wonder if 1 9 dragon heavenly origin array is enough. Going to the Cloud Dragon mountain range should be more difficult than escaping from the heavenly law altar, right? Qin Yun controlled the heaven leaping shuttle to absorb the energy. The heaven leaping shuttle had once been to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. The spatial teleportation point of the Cloud Dragon mountain range was recorded in the heaven leaping shuttle. Princess Anya said, Not necessarily. The Cloud Dragon mountain range was now on the same level as the Immortal Desolate. Even though it belonged to the Holy Sun sect, it was still a special realm of unbounded desolation. The spatial enchantment of the Heavenly Law altar was created by the mysterious Heavenly Tao power. Let's give it a try, Qin Yun said. Once the energy is accumulated to the limit, we'll begin the spatial travel. The white jade gourd-like heaven-leaping shuttle is currently blossoming with 9-colored light. It is slightly trembling as it condensed a vast amount of energy. Qin Yun also sensed that the heaven-leaping shuttle is about to reach its limit. I wonder what the Cloud Dragon mountain range has become. Since it's a sun-holy land, it must have undergone an earth-shattering change. Qin Yun said. This is definitely different from the Cloud Dragon mountain range you knew back then. Although the 10,000 Snake Mountain range is also a sun-holy land, the Cloud Dragon mountain range is stronger than the 10,000 Snake Mountain range. Princess Anya said, after all, one is a snake and the other is a dragon. I heard that there are a total of 5 sun-holy lands. Are there things inside? Qin Yun asked. Yes, there are divine universe goldstone dragon eggs in the 10,000 Snake Mountain range. What did you use the yolk of the dragon egg for? Princess Anya asked. She had gone with Qin Yun to snatch the dragon egg back then. I'll leave it for now, Qin Yun said. Actually, he used it for the Devil Star Tyrant Dragon to absorb. He didn't know what would happen to the Devil Star Tyrant Dragon after absorbing the yolk of the dragon egg. The trembling heaven-leaping shuttle suddenly calmed down. The energy absorption has reached its limit. Let's go. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and released a powerful spatial power. He began tearing space apart. When traversing space or traveling through super long-distance space, one would need to tear open a spatial crack. After the spatial crack appeared, it gradually grew larger. When it was enough for the heaven-leaping shuttle to enter, Qin Yun immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to enter the spatial crack. In the blink of an eye, the heaven-leaping shuttle arrived in another space. It is night time and the moon can't be seen in the sky. In the space of the Cloud Dragon mountain range, he actually can't see the giant moon of the Immortal Desolate. This Cloud Dragon mountain range has indeed changed a lot. Although Qin Yun arrived in another space, he sensed that there is sacred energy floating in this place. This is a place where one can cultivate sacred power. It didn't exist before. Princess Anya said, "This is the Sun Holy Land after all. This kind of holy land will only change after the sun falls." The sun falls into the 9 desolate. Can you imagine the sun's energy? And the energy of the Holy Land comes from the Great Desolate where the sun falls. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and released the Divine Inscription Mountain from the warehouse. Then, he and Princess Anya arrived at the Divine Inscription Mountain. The Magic Mirror Formation Foundation can't be used. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror is very alarmed. Is the spatial laws here very different from the Immortal Desolate? Storage magic tools can be used, Qin Yun said. Previously in the ancient garden, because the spatial laws were different, storage magic tools could not be used. At that time, only Qin Yun could refine a usable storage magic tool. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said, "Maybe it's because the Magic Mirror Formation Foundation hasn't been integrated into this space. I'll adjust it. You guys go out and see if you can use teleportation talismans to come back." Long Yuqing immediately went out, flew to a very far place and then teleported back. The process was very smooth. Then we'll use teleportation talismans and magic mirror together, so that we can temporarily contact each other and support each other, Xiaohua said. All right. Qin Yun nodded. Let's split up and figure out the situation here. Don't get into conflict with others. Xiaohua warned again. He is after all a senior, everyone listened to him. Xiao Yuanmei pulled Long Yuqing's hand and said with smile, Brother, I want to go with Sister Long. You're not going with me? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Little girl, you are very attached to me, why don't you go with me? Don't tell me you want to cause trouble? Brother, I have an appointment with Sister Long. We are going to explore this place together, Xiao Yuemei said with smile. Let us go, we will definitely pay attention to safety. Alright, then you guys be careful, Qin Yun said. Xiao Yuemei and Long Yuqing are very happy and immediately left the Divine Inscription Mountain. Chapter 1842. Evil Spirits and Monsters. When Qin Yun was with Princess Anya, he often thought of the temporarily unknown hatred with Princess Anya. Previously, Princess Anya said that she wanted Qin Yun to help her find a person she had been looking for a long time, and Qin Yun happened to be the person she was looking for. She did not say why she was looking for this person. When Qin Yun and Princess Anya were refining the dragon rune Heavenly Saber, he asked her a few times but she avoided answering. Let's go out and have a look first, Princess Dark Knight said. All right, Qin Yun said with smile. Everyone, if you want to leave the mountain, follow me. Shimin Dezhuang laughed and said, I want to go out. I'm not going, I'll just stay here. Shimin Qinglian said, The environment here is so good, I want to take this opportunity to cultivate and become stronger. Up to you. Shimin Dezhuang laughed and said, In any case, I want to go out. I want to find Father and the others. The three dragons, Azure Dragon, Fire Dragon and Water Dragon, along with the Black Mouse by Zhe, are 5 powerful inscription beasts. They also want to go out and take a look. As for Lu Jian, Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror, and Xiao Hua, they had to stay here. They had to set up the Demonic Mirror's formation base so that they could communicate easily. Just like that, Qin Yun, Princess Anya, Shimin Dezhuang, the 5 inscription beasts and Pippi Pig left the Divine Inscription Mountain together. There was a forest outside. The trees in this forest were very strange. The tree trunks were like sharp swords, ranging from 100 meters to a few hundred meters tall. They were inserted straight into the ground. Every tree had branches and leaves at the top. The branches were very straight, and the leaves were the same as swords. The most surprising thing was that the tree trunk was like a sharp sword, shining with a cold light, reflecting a weak cold light. As soon as they came out, the expressions of the 3 dragons changed. 3 big brothers, have you discovered something? Pippi Pig cried out in fear. Why do I feel that there is something very terrifying here? The runes on my body are trembling. Blackrat by Zhe's expression turned solemn as he looked around. My runes are also moving. He Shu said in deep voice. There is something in this place that is strongly calling us inscription beasts. Bai Zhe said, Shall we go and have a look? Azure Dragon said, Boss, let's go take a look at that place. Don't worry about us. Alright then, be careful on the road, Qin Yun warned. If the situation is not right, remember to leave quickly. Shimin Dezhuang shivered and said, Boss, why is this place so scary? You are not an inscription beast, what did you sense? Qin Yun smiled and patted his shoulder. I don't know. In short, I'm afraid. There's a power here that terrifies me. Shimin Dezhuang became more and more terrified. He said in a low voice, Boss, I'm not going. I want to stay on the Divine Inscription Mountain. Qin Yun said with a frown, Dezhuang, what are you afraid of? Azure Dragon and the others were also looking at Shimin Dezhuang. My master told me to cultivate a very strange power that will give me a special feeling. If this feeling appears, it means that there is something here that will give even the heavenly energy a headache. Shimin Dezhuang said. Master also said that if I have this feeling, I must hide well, otherwise those things will come to me and eat me. Did Tian Dao Zi say what it was? Qin Yun asked. Let me think. Shimin Dezhuang said with a frown. I don't remember much of what he said. Because he is usually very mysterious, I turned a deaf ear to his words. Indeed, Tian Dao Zi often said some very strange things. Princess Anya said, "This Cloud Dragon mountain range indeed gives people a very uncomfortable feeling. Is it? Why can't I sense it?" Qin Yun really did not sense it. He only felt that the sacred power aura of the heavenly energy is very dense. Shimen Dezhuang suddenly cried out, "I remember now, Master said that those things are called evil ghosts and heavenly monsters." Evil ghosts and heavenly monsters? He Shu said with a smile. Could it be heavenly monsters? Heavenly monsters are formed by absorbing divine universe golden stones. They are extremely powerful, and only the power of divine universe golden stones can deal with them. No, my master said that they are even more difficult to deal with than heavenly monsters. In short, I don't know what it is like. He told me that if I encounter this kind of thing, I must hide far away. Shimen Dezhuang shook his head. Qin Yun looked at Princess Anya. Princess Anya seems to be thinking about it as she searched her memories. She has a lot of memories. After all, they are the memories of several lifetimes, and they are even intermittent. I have some impression. After Princess Anya thought about it, she said in a deep voice, "That kind of thing is similar to heavenly monsters. They are all formed by divine universe golden stones. What is different from heavenly monsters is that evil ghosts and heavenly monsters are formed from evil spirits and evil spirits." Yes, that's right. Shimen Dezhuang cried out in alarm. "Big sister, you know so much." Princess Anya said again, "When humans or beasts have evil intentions and obtain the energy of divine universe golden stones, they can become heavenly monsters. It can also be said that they went berserk when absorbing the energy of divine universe golden stones. As for evil ghosts and heavenly monsters, they are formed from some evil spirits and evil spirits that came into contact with the evil divine universe power." Shimen Dezhuang hurriedly nodded and said, "My master said the same thing. He said that the divine universe power belongs to the energy of good and evil. If one is affected, the divine universe power will completely transform into evil. The Cloud Dragon mountain range has divine universe golden stones." Qin Yun said in alarm, "And it's not small at all? Boss, we should hide inside the divine inscription mountain range." Shimen Dezhuang said in low voice, "It will be safer this way. Those evil ghosts and heavenly monsters are truly terrifying. My master told me to cultivate this kind of special energy. As long as there are evil ghosts and heavenly monsters, I will be able to sense them." "Dezhuang, then you should stay inside the divine inscription mountain," Qin Yun said. "And I will go back now." Shimen Dezhuang carried Pippi Pig and entered the space inside the divine inscription mountain. Qin Yun looked at Bai Zhe and San Long and said, "You must be careful. Those evil ghosts and heavenly monsters are unknown dangers. If you are not a match for them, remember to seize the opportunity to escape." "Boss, we understand. You should also be careful," Bai Zhe said. And Qin Yun nodded. Bai Zhe and San Long are running inside the forest. There are also inscription beasts like Old Fox Huang and Xian Tiger King inside the divine inscription mountain. They did not go out, instead they stayed inside to cultivate. Qin Yun took out the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade. It can sense nearby souls and has the function of warning. Although the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade has been placed inside the Dragon Heavenly Rune and carved with the Dragon Totem, its original power has not disappeared. Princess Anya took out her Heavenly Flame Divine Fan. Her inner Crystal Mother is much better than Qin Yun's, so she can frequently awaken the Sun Soul. After using Qin Yun's inner Crystal Mother for a period of time, the energy inside it will be consumed and it will need to be stored again. Fortunately, storing energy is relatively simple. It can only be placed inside one of the 9 Sun Divine Souls Pearl to absorb sacred mysterious silver crystal or star energy. Princess, how much do you know about those evil ghosts and heavenly monsters? These things, are they soul bodies or something else? Qin Yun asked. I don't know. Regarding these things, my memory is very vague. Princess Anya shook her head. She said that her memory is vague because she lost part of her memory. Alright, in short, we must be careful. Qin Yun took out a soul-chasing talisman. It is used to track Siekiru. Siekiru's direction is the opposite of Bai Zai's direction. This Cloud Dragon mountain range is truly beyond my expectations, Princess Anya said. Qin Yun, didn't you say that you were born in this vicinity? Was the situation like this at that time? No, it's not at all. Qin Yun shook his head and said, if the Cloud Dragon mountain range had such a powerful thing back then, I would have been killed long ago. Qin Yun had walked around the Cloud Dragon mountain range a few times. Although he had encountered many powerful things, he had never seen those evil ghosts and heavenly monsters. Princess Anya is walking in front. Her cultivation is higher than Qin Yun's. Qin Yun followed behind her. There is something on his waist that looks like a golden flute. It is actually a small 9 heavens dragon lion cannon. There are many holes on this slender tube, and the dragon rune heavenly saber is placed in those holes. In case of an emergency, Qin Yun can immediately use the 9 heavens dragon lion cannon. Is the person you are looking for far away? Princess Anya asked. I don't know. My soul-chasing talisman senses through soul fluctuations. Qin Yun shook his head. The soul-chasing talisman is used to track the soul fluctuations she left behind in the vicinity. Princess Anya is not very worried because Qin Yun has all kinds of powerful things. Even if they encounter a danger they cannot deal with, they can still avoid it. Qin Yun said, I'll take out the heaven-leaping shuttle and ride it. It will be safer this way. That's fine too. Princess Anya nodded. Qin Yun took out the heaven-leaping shuttle and entered with Princess Anya. After entering, Qin Yun wanted to contact Xiao Yueme through the magic mirror but failed. Their magic mirror is a fusion teleportation talisman. Logically speaking, they should be able to contact each other. Qin Yun immediately became very anxious. He thought that something had happened to Xiao Yueme. Then, he tried to contact Black Rat Bai Zai and the others and realized that he could not contact them. What's going on? Qin Yun said in alarm. Can the heaven-leaping shuttle travel through space? Princess Anya also sensed that something is amiss. Qin Yun immediately tried it and his expression changed drastically. He shook his head and said, No. Soon after, he used the teleportation jade pendant to teleport but he was unable to succeed. Princess Anya said, This is troublesome. The space here suddenly strengthened. Suddenly strengthened? Why did it suddenly strengthen? Qin Yun said in astonishment. Yu Qing could still teleport back before. Princess Anya let out a long sigh and said, Qin Yun, you might not believe me if I tell you. Tell me. Qin Yun said. This Cloud Dragon mountain range, it should be a living thing. Princess Anya's tone was heavy as she said in a low voice. Or rather, the Cloud Dragon mountain range is inside the body of some living thing. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.